Right, Jason.
Hello and welcome to Homeboys. I was waiting until it happened there. There you go. Welcome to Homeboys episode fuck knows what. But I'm Jason, obviously I'm no Joe, and you've got me for the night. And delighted to be joined the line. We've got two kind of regulars and one semi-regular now, and it's a voice of reason. So we'll go to him first. Brian, my colleague, and how you doing, mate?
I'm very well, Jason. Thank you for having me on. Just looking forward to a bit of chat. Looking forward to it.
A voice of reason for a change in this.
Voice of reason, jeez. I'm not sure about
that. And the Reverend's back for another guest appearance. The old Harper, how you doing, mate?
I'm all right, man. Aye, a bit sweating and all that, trying to get that together there, but we're here now.
There's a bit of kerfuffle going on before this, isn't there? A bit of kerfuffle.
What's the switch laptops?
And you're a podcaster as well, do you know what I mean?
I know, I brought my work laptop home, man. I've not got a clue how to work a fucking Microsoft computer anymore, so fuck it.
There you go. And we've got the main man, your host for the night, the main man, and Canvas Lang, Scott McCory. How you doing, son?
I'm good, pal, I'm good. It's good to get the boys back on. A wee different voices, eh? We'll fucking get a bit of sense and we've got a bit of madness.
That's it. So
how come the host not introducing the show? Huh?
Because I'm
in the socials.
I'm trying to do the socials, mate, right? Because as well, you know, none of us are fucking good at this.
So before we kick in, I suppose we've got a wee bit of transfer action. Obviously, a wee bit of Celtic's record. As I say, to this date, we've still only got two bodies in the door, and it looks like a couple are going out the door. Go to you first, Brian. So we've obviously got Duran, and we had a wee discussion about this. Is it Ho or Hoch or whatever? But I think it's Ho.
Hoch.
What do you think, Brian? What do you think about the two signings we've made so far?
Well, I think it's an area that obviously the manager has identified, and I think every supporter probably identified last year. I think the early ones for Duran looks as if he's got a bit of pace about him and likes to get in behind. He's quite direct. He's a good finisher. Obviously, the most recent one they're saying Ho seems probably more of an all-round striker. Can hold the ball up. He can do a bit of running in behind. He's of a good age. He's got experience, and I think he'll be that sort of figurehead that probably the club's been missing. If you think back, obviously Ismaida was outstanding last year, but in terms of centre forward, you know, at times there was balls played up to him that would just bounce off him, and other times they would do it's an overhead kick against Rangers into a tap corner, so you'd go from one extreme to another. But I think this centre forward will probably allow more of the midfielders to go and express themselves and get beyond them and sort of link up play better. So it'll be interesting to see it. I think there still needs players in the wide area. But I think the first two signings are probably, you can see that's got Martin Neal's mark on it. He's probably been badgering the sort of recruitment team and the board to make sure we get goal scorers in, because we can't keep sort of relying on our wide boys to score. We need people through the middle who can take chances. So so far so good, but still need plenty more.
Right. Harper, what do you think? The two signings?
Fucking like, I can't disagree with any of that. I have to say, I remember I watched, and I didn't watch many fucking games outside Celtic and Chelsea, but Luke was watching the Bordeaux Man City game. It used to be Drogheda. Just anything though. But I remember watching I watched the City game against Bordeaux Glint last season in the Champions League, and your man was excellent. Like, and I can remember saying, "Look, fucking the magic of Celtic, you got a fucking striker like him." Genuinely, I said that watching the game. And so, kind of buzzing about signing him, I have to say. I mean, the ones that were getting rumoured, that's the one you really want to do. It's hard. It's the fucking. We all know the situation with the board, and it's Groundhog's Day again. We fucking try to get players in the door. But I mean, they're going to turn around and say they spent fucking 17 million something like that on two players. But it's hard to be fucking moaning about signings when you've just had a record transfer. But we all know that it's a bigger picture than that. So there's still a lot to be fucking done. Like, looks like Johnson will probably be going out the door. Engels is going to be going out the door. I don't know whether it'll be West Ham. I think somebody else will maybe come in for him. Because that'd be a bit of a fucking cunt for him, like going to the Championship when he could have been before us. Like, so I will see what happens there. But I'm still confident they will get more players in to replace these players. But it's like we were saying last week. It's like they wouldn't announce your man signing until fucking Maeda was at the door. What fucking difference does it make? Like, do you know what I mean? You've got the fucking money there. Just get the job done. Like, so I don't know if I'd be thinking there'd be any more in by Monday. Certainly wouldn't be any by Monday. It'd be in the team anyway. You wouldn't think, but there's still a long way to go with signings. I think we're still got 4 or 5 players short. Fucking a goalkeeper should be a priority for me. Like.
Fair dues. Are you ready, Scott? Or are you still needing more time?
No, that's what's bang on. I was as per I'm sitting fucking trying to hold myself back for jumping in.
Now's your time. Give me your thoughts.
No, so I've got a wee. I'll find it out in a second, but we kind of touched on it last week that I feel myself I'm reticent to give these guys any credit. Like Harper says here, fair dues to them, and I'm reticent to give them any credit because I don't think they really. I mean, we're almost a year too late in doing this. This should have been done last year. Do you know what I mean? And we'd be in a better place. However, it is getting done. And see, last season. I mean, it finished fantastically well, as we all know. But see, living in negativity. See, it's crap, innit? I mean, like we talk about how much the natural thing what we should have done as a group was boycott this season, but going to see Celtic's what we do. That's our life. I mean, we do this podcast. We've got a fucking chat. All we do is talk about it. I'm on another chat. All we do is talk about Celtic's. Celtic's our fucking life. Fact of the matter. So if we fucking so living in negativity is fucking rough, man. It's no great. So if we talk about the fact is 2 signings right now, 3 if you go by Chamberlain as well. 3 signings isn't enough for what we need. So that's a negative. Positively, Martin O'Neill spoke about it. Brendan Rodgers spoke about it last season. We need quality over quantity. And admittedly, I knew nothing about Duran. However, see when I had a wee gander at his stats and how he's kind of progressed, I'll talk about it in a second. It filled me full of optimism. I said to my mate, that's the kind of guy I want. This guy sounds apart. He's somebody on the up. He's young enough. And then you go and get, I'd like to say, what will we go? Hoch. Right? We'll go with that. If we're Rang, we're fucking Rang. Right? That's what fucking doesn't matter. But and to add to the fact that Hoch is a guy, another guy who's seemingly on the up, he comes in and his interviews and all that. Right. Do you know, just sit there and pure smile and all? Like, this guy's class. This guy's magic. I mean, it turns out he's mad found God kind of guy, and God bless him for that. That's tremendous. So I want to be positive, and then you throw in the fact that is it Gajimis, the winger boy that touch wood might have the Mora. If Engels goes, which looks like the part, I agree with you, Harper, but there's a bit of me that thinks Engels could cement himself because the boy Bones staying, right? And Bones like their hero. If Engels goes in there and he settles into English football at a lower level, albeit 15 times the games in that English Championship, he could be the hero before they get straight back into back into Premier League. Touch wood for him. So I don't know if that's actually a better move than in Nottingham Forest. But the money's going to be right for us, obviously. But I mean, then you potentially go and get the boy Bauer for Paderborn, who seems to want to come to us. And it's all feeling a wee bit more positive, isn't it? It's all feeling like, oh, what you're bringing in is positivity in the squad. I mean, I know you guys all love Hatate. I would thought Hatate does my shiter in, but I can't be dealing with his dour face. I can't be dealing with him fucking. And Maeda's time came and gone. I think we'll give him his flowers later on, and we can all have a chat about it. But Maeda wanted to go as well. So bring guys that want to play for us. And I think us naturally, we want to go back and support Celtic. We want to go and, we spoke about it, we all want to go and buy the jerseys and all that. These cunts need to step up. I mean, again, we'll talk about this engagement thing. But in terms of the 2 signings, Is it enough? No. Is it encouraging? Fucking right it is. I don't know if that's what you wanted from me, Jason.
No,
What do you think, Paul?
I'm actually buzzing about the whole boy. I think, as you say, just the way he comes across and watched all his videos. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't see. I seen the goals against Man City, but I didn't see like the overall player end. I've not really watched them much, but just the way. And then they went to Lennoxtown and showed you the training. He had a different colour bib on every day, and I was like, I don't know if that was just a hang because he's a new guy or whatever, but he's just fucking struck that out as if he owns the place. And
you see his Instagram name?
No, what's that?
Capper the rapper. Capper THE. Capper T.HE. rapper. This is a bit of a mascot, obviously.
Aye, and he seems
obviously he was a rapper, he'll know Joe.
But he just seems to have a right bit about him. He's selling, he's walked in confident as hell, and you're just saying, how can this feel for the big game? You know, see, like when they were signing guys like Bratback and all that, they were all quite timid and like you didn't know how it was going to go, and I hope I do well. This guy just wandered into the building, fucking let me at it, you know. And you're like, fucking hell, I'm just here to score goals and like. And the thing is, I think it'll bring guys like Tierney. It'll bring him into his element as well. No, he can put a ball in the fucking end of a sixpence. So you're talking about balls too wide. That's, and obviously Johnson, if he's going to go with a big miss, because that would be good for him as well. But I just think this guy will gobble him up. As Brian said at the start, we were dearly missing a striker. I mean, the thing is, if we'd that guy under Nancy, he'd maybe still wearing a fucking job. Do you know what I mean? If we'd somebody to put the ball in the net. But this is what we've been.
You need to let that go, Jason. You need to let that part go.
I know. It scares me to even think about it. But when was the last time we had a deadly striker? And obviously this guy's not kicking the ball yet. It might not be, but I've just got a feeling he will be. But when was the last time we had a guy that you were totally convinced when you were through and goal? It was Kyogo maybe.
Kyogo's first season. Kyogo's first season. Who did you say there, Brian?
It's goal to Dundee United.
You're shitting me, huh?
I must be about a minute behind here. I'm going on. Still not.
We're doing a podcast. And
don't you shout at Harper. It'll be 2-0 when you say it.
I think the bit about Ho is it feels like ages, but it's probably been about a year and a half since you've got a natural centre forward. So you've got somebody who knows to actually his natural instinct will be to get in between the sticks, to get in the box. He's for his full career, he sort of knows how to hold the ball up. He knows how to hold people off, and that just links up the game. It makes for your midfielders. See for Engels, and if Engels goes and plays beside him, Engels will be like, "This is brilliant because it means I can start. I can trust him now, so I can go beyond him because I know he's going to actually hold it up." Whereas Maeda, I always thought that McGregor and Engels were always really safe with Maeda because a lot of the time. You weren't sure if he was going to hold the ball up, and you weren't sure what he was going to do with it. You know, he could do something amazing, or he could do something, he could fire it, and that was always the thing with Maeda. Whereas this guy seems like we've got a centre forward now, so it actually changes the sort of mindset of the wide boys and the midfielders, because they go, all right, we've got somebody who naturally plays this position, and as you were saying, he seems to have the confidence. He's got the cockiness about him. He's got the swagger about him, and you're like, that's exactly what you need if you're going to come to Celtic. You need that because if you're going to be a hero 1 minute, then you're going to get that sort of slaughtered the next minute. So you need that sort of thick skin. So that's the bit that's exciting. But I do agree in terms of still need players in. They badly need players in. I think the goalkeeper. I think sort of Harper said about the goalkeepers are a concern for me. So is left back because Tierney has played a significant amount of games last year. He went away to World Cup. The chances are he's going to break down at some point this season. And it could happen. So you need a left back in badly.
We done a review last week, Brian, obviously up to date.
I was listening.
But Tierney done 50. It was involved in 54 games. Now I didn't do the actual stats, but you would imagine that, albeit, I mean, 50. We all look at stats. He played 54 games last year, but did he play 60%, 50% of loads of them? Loads of them. He came off at half time and stuff like that. So the other guy was playing just as much. I mean, so there is. We definitely need to. I mean, I saw Hamish just on Twitter as a wee gander, and he's saying that the man Will Ferry's looking the part. I think left back, backup, stroke, alternative is an easy one, and it would just be good to just go and get that done, wouldn't it? Because Will Ferry, Dundee United aren't going to fight us for him. He'll want to come, and he's not going to cost us the earth, and he'll not want fucking mad wages. And the same goes with Greg Taylor. So just go and get it done. If Greg Taylor wants to come back, just go and get that one done, so we don't do a pod and talk about it, and it strikes in our box. If we're going to go with Sinisalo, go and get a potential goalkeeper. I mean, I don't know we're looking to go and get a new number one. But to come back to your point, I think your point about the striker is bang on the button, right? I mean, all the years we've spoke about it, I fell for Iheanacho just because he was a proper striker. Now, we'll all give Maeda the credit he totally deserves. He's as close to a legend. I think he's a Celtic great. I don't think he's a legend. Celtic great for what he's done in the past year, maybe 2 years. But he wasn't a striker, right? No matter what he's telling me, he's not. He maybe a forward player, he's never a striker. And we talked about the Red Star game, and he came on, it was a game, and Chavanchera was up front, and he was getting ragged. It was against St Mirren at Parkhead, and he was getting ragdolled off Gogic, right? Gogic, who to this day has the best games against Celtic, he was ragdolling him, and he was getting nothing off him. And Iheanacho was on the pitch 2 minutes, fucking dragged him one way, and then after that grabbed a foul off him. And it was like night and day of forward play.
And just knows how to play it.
Exactly. And Martin O'Neill must have been sick last year, and he must have looked back on the Nancy stuff and went, right, we just need a boy up. We need something up front that's going to fucking keep us up front, and he's going to cause bother, and he's going to be a nuisance and stuff like that. As you see, I always liked it when you hit it up front and it's stuck up front. I like that. I mean, rather than just come. I mean, Brian, you've obviously played fucking a far higher, but see, you're playing centre half and you're rattled up the line and it just keeps coming back to you. It's fucking so destroying. That, I mean,
it's murdered, and that's why the midfielders, I always felt that Engels, McGregor actually ended up playing as 2 number 6s, and there were 2 sitters, because they were saying, actually, I'm not going to go beyond. So even Nygren very rarely went beyond the striker. He would always hang about the edge of the box and sort of cheat a wee bit. But now you've got a situation, if you've got a centre forward who's actually can hold it up, you can say, right, I'm going to make a late run now beyond him. And it just mixes up who's picking up who. No, it means opposition midfielders are thinking, right, am I going to have to track him a full way, or is one of the defenders going to pick him up? And it's just sort of creates space, and it just sort of changes the structure and the format of the game. Whereas if it's any actual, obviously if he was fit, it would be great. But when it was with Maeda, you weren't sure what you were getting off him. It would be brilliant 1 minute, and the next minute it'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
But I think actually his move to Ipswich will suit him, because he's going to play the majority of games where he's defending, and there'll be loads of space for him to run into. And I think there'll be a sensation down there, because it's the right move for him.
We said the same last week. I agree.
See with his press as well. See a team that they're going to be under the caution of the rest of the game every week, but he'll be able to get them up the park.
Aye.
You know,
aye, definitely.
Weight and goal. That's how see Everton though going for him. I'd have loved Everton to sign him. He'd have been ideal for them. But they just Davy Moyes came out and said, because I said on this pod last week that Everton were going to bid.
You shouted that,
and Davy Moyes said when he was asked, why did you not sign Maeda? I don't think he's good enough. He's fucking good enough for that. Everton team will tell you that. Fucking hell.
I think it's going to be really interesting how Maeda goes on. I mean,
me too.
I think it's either going to be bananas good or fucking total flop. I don't think there's any in between.
I just think, see with his international experience as well, he's played against everybody with Japan, scored in World Cups.
Exactly,
he can do it at the top level. Look at the goals he scored for us away from him in Europe and stuff like that, pressing on the keepers. They'll not know what to do with him down there. They'll never. They defenders will never have come up against somebody like him before. You know, they just won't know how to deal with it. He's a freak.
I think if you look at it as well, Celtic sort of need him to do well, because if you look at the last big players that have left Celtic, they've no performed. If you look at Matt O'Reilly, went down to Brighton, hardly played, got injured, and went to Marseille. If you look at Jota, when he's left, went away, Saudi, obviously Saudi's different, being away to France, hardly played. As Kyogo left, hardly played. Even Edward went down to Crystal Palace and he was alright, probably at best. So Celtic sort of need him to go down and do well to sort of maintain that sort of reputation as if boys are performing up here, then it's worth 20 or 25 million to go and take them and they can handle it in the Premiership. So we sort of do need that because there's been too many in the last couple. Obviously Celtic always rely on the Van Dijk story or the Wanyama story.
Tierney was decent.
Tierney, I'll give that one, aye. But we sort of need it because I've had a few now that's left for decent dough. Even Kuhn, if you think, sort of Nicholas Kuhn went to the Italian side, and I think he hardly played in his first year. He went to Coma, didn't he? They hardly played.
Yeah. Coma.
Yeah.
I think Celtic, and that's probably why, to go back, we're talking about Engels and West Ham, I sort of wonder if that's why it's a championship side has come in.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what's happening. There's a few English teams sort of would like to sign some of the, if it's Maeda or Engels or Johnson, but maybe they're looking at it going, actually can these boys handle it down here?
Johnson, I have to say, is the one that I think is. I don't think there's a doubt that he'll be success. It depends on what you determine success. I don't see the English league any level being too hard for him because it suits him. He's got the energy. I mean, even your man Alphonso Davies was saying. Alphonso Davies was like, no, I want Bayern to sign him. And he says this. I mean, he's well good enough for them. You know what I mean? So I don't see. It's quite frustrating to watch Everton fans dismiss him because I don't think they've watched him because I think he's ready made for the English league. He's tough. He's fit. He's fit. His standard of fitness has improved under us to the point that. See, when we first got him, I thought he was maybe an upgrade on Juranovic. I think he's twice the player Juranovic was for Celtic.
Is that right? Everton fans are not having him, is that right?
Nah, well, I think you know yourself. It's a usual fucking. He's playing in the fucking Scottish League. Who the fuck does he think he are and all that? We shouldn't be looking at stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Fucking hell.
You're always going to get that, aren't you?
See, can I just bring it back a wee bit to something you were saying there? Like, I wouldn't be a big fan of bringing Greg Taylor back.
No.
I would rather have a sort of Colby Donovan type at that side, if you know what I mean. I'd rather have like somebody to build towards the future rather than somebody coming at the end of his fucking career again, like with Taylor. That would be for me. I have to say, I'd rather get a young up and coming boy like. I know that's easier said than done at left back.
I do agree, but who?
I don't know fucking who. I'm just saying I'd rather it was someone like that. And just the other quick thing about the keeper. Sinisalo's all right, but I would love us to go and get another number one, like to be the number one. I don't. There's something about Sinisalo. I didn't see him being a match winner. I mean, I didn't see him being like a Foster or well, a wee bit of that, but you know, like, I didn't see Sinisalo getting us a point in Europe in games where we're under the cosh. I just didn't see it. Schmeichel maybe done that in his first season, as I say, going back to Boris done that. Fraser Foster obviously was massive when you think back to the Barcelona games and that. I just didn't see Sinisalo being that guy. I just see him a steady goalkeeper. I just think that's what I didn't see him being a match winner like in games. Like, I'd love us to go and get our number one. Like.
See, to be fair, Harper, I sort of agree with you there because it's like he's a competent goalkeeper, but you don't ever remember him making massive saves. So you go, oh, that's got us a 3 points. That's a massive save. But he does. It's everything he does. He sort of does it well. But he's no one that you think, I actually see if he's 1-on-1, he's going to make a massive save. And it might come with time. It could be an age thing. But I sort of get what you're saying.
See, I can't disagree with either one of these. But see, when we got Fraser Foster wasn't far off where he was. He was kind of kicking about. He was getting the odd games. But you've got to bear in mind, this is his first ever really good go at being a number one.
He's probably never played enough.
And see Fraser Foster, right? The big thing that stuck me with Fraser Foster right for the off was he never made mistakes. He never made big mad saves like Arthur Boric did when he first came in. Arthur Boruc used to pull out a wonder save, but Arthur Boruc had 3 or 4 clangers on him, whereas Fraser Foster, I remember we get beat in the League Cup after the Huns at Hampden, and the goal, I think the winning goal came for a bad kick out. No, like a kick out to halfway line, went straight to one of their players, and everybody's going, he kicked it straight to them. And I'm going, if we are now condemning the goalkeeper for that, even though they still had to run through our defence, I think the keeper's doing all right. And that's what I'm thinking about Sinisalo. Jason brought it up last week. See the point he came in? Kasper Schmeichel was making bad error after error.
Aye.
His time was obviously done. And see, I'm willing to give him a go. But on the flip side, to contradict what I'm going to say, if Celtic went out and go a proper, like, do you remember a couple of years ago, me and Marty, I was kind of going, see, for 12 million, I'd go and get that Kevin Kelleher. And then that's your goalkeeper for the next 20 years or something fucking mental, you know what I mean? But
just somebody with a bit of presence. I don't think Sinisalo has a great presence in the box either. Like,
exactly. Well, then Fraser Foster was about 18 foot.
If you look back at the 0-0 game at Ibrox when we beat them in the cup, it was brilliant that day. You know, and he's at crossbars, he comes out for crossbars. But what I'll agree with is Schmeichel was that we would have took
presence.
They got a lot of grace because everybody was just glad to see the back of Schmeichel and energy was getting it. But I think he did really well, to be honest with you. But I kind of agree with you. He's not getting at worldlies, and you're not looking back saying, he's fucking saved. Which I do think the cup game at Ibrox, he was brilliant. And it gives you confidence because when Hearts were towards the end of the last game and stuff like that, get corners and corners. You've got confidence with him when you've got corners. There's no any clangers of that going in. So I think that's a good point as well. I'm happy enough with him, but I wouldn't be averse to if we got a better keeper, and just the same as I wouldn't be averse a better player in any position.
See, to be honest, I think Brian's original point about the strikers is also pertinent when it comes to the goalie, because you think for years with a Celtic goalie, what we needed them to be good at was concentration, because they were maybe going to make 1 or 2 saves per game. Whereas because we weren't holding it up front and we weren't taking our chances, our defence was under a lot of pressure and our goalkeeper was having to make more and more saves in games that traditionally they wouldn't. So Sinisalo, whilst he's no your see if his concentration is good and he's making the saves he should, then I don't think it's necessary. I mean, to me right now, whilst again I don't disagree, I don't think it's no on my radar the new. I mean, ironically, I think another centre half should be, but that doesn't seem to be. We seem to be centre half wise. We're looking for backup at best.
If the keeper gets injured, and then you're going with Ross.
Then we're in to do that. No, definitely.
You need another keeper.
Yeah, we definitely need another goalie. Aye. I don't.
See the centre half. I know Marek is on, but you can't have enough centre halves, right? But if Carter Vickers gets up to full fitness, you've got Trusty Scales and Carter Vickers. Do you think you really need another centre half?
Well, that would leave you with a 4, doesn't it?
I think the problem being with Carter Vickers, you're expecting that he's only playing about 60% of the season. He's going to miss a chunk. Just his body can't handle it. Aye. But if you're right when you say if you can get him up running. Aye, but
what age is he?
I don't know. He's one of you guys that.
Aye, he could be 24. Do you know what I mean?
I'm sure.
Because are we at the fucking I think he's stage with him. So he's 28. He's 28 in December. He was 28 in December past.
He looks about 30, doesn't he?
I'm saying nothing about nothing, mate.
He looked brutal in the AC Milan game, to be fair, but he's a couple of games back. But if you can get him up to playing to the level he used to play at, fucking hell, you know.
That's it. But it's the point you make. See, for Monday night, it'll likely be Murray and Carter Vickers will be the 2 centre halves.
Scales is suspended.
It depends if Trusty's.
It
depends if he's back yet.
Trusty's fucking playing baseball and all that.
Playing rounders.
Hey, enough of that.
see, just go back to the Alistair Johnson one. And maybe this is controversial, right? But I probably think this is the right time to sell him.
So do that. See,
I think so.
his injury record and all.
I think at 28, 100%. At 28, and he's had a serious hamstring injury. He played, 10 games last year? Maybe 12 guys, 10, 12 games. And if you've got a hamstring injury, the chance, what usually happens is it will come back. It might not be as severe, but you'll get tweaks because you've had such a significant injury. And obviously, he actually done it twice by the sounds of it because he came back.
11 games, aye.
He came back, he played one game,
That's
he went
right.
half at half time, didn't he? So he done it twice, so then I think he had to get an operation on it. So straight away you're saying, well, he's been out for a year. So I was surprised that actually that people that Everton were going to make a bid, because you're saying, because see if Celtic were going to sign somebody and they came in and you're like, I was out for the full season last year and he's played 6 games, and you're like, fuck, right, and we're spending how much on him? We're talking
the World Cup's helped him though, eh?
Aye, 100% World Cup's helped him, but you just wonder if he's going to be like Carter Vickers now. Is he going to be like, I'll play for 4 games, then I'm out for 2, then I'll play for 6 games, then I'm out for 3, then is that going to be his rotation now?
Especially he's such a physical player, eh? The physicality is such a big part of his game, so you can see that. Like.
And by the way, if he signs for Everton, that's exactly what's going to happen. They're fucking cursed. Do you know what I mean? If he signs with them, he's fucked. Do you know what I mean? But aye, and that would be my thing, and I think it's the perfect time to sell him. Albeit, I know it is the perfect time with the kind of model that we sort of mooted that we were going to have, which we've done it with quite a few players. But let's face it, this is the time when you need to strike while the iron's hot. You've got these guys for a few years, and you get these guys for Canada, and it is their pathway to go to England. That's why you sign them and you give them that. You know, look what's happened to the past. As you reference Van Dijk, etc., Matt O'Reilly. And you say to yourself, come here a couple of years, you can move on to the English Premier League.
We've got to, we've got to. This is what keeps us going.
And see the fact that Moyes has penciled him in that he wants him. Celtic's going to just rip the hole at it and get as much as you can possibly get.
100%.
EPL tax.
See, just back to the half a wee bit again. But you're not surprised that we never kept Naroki when he came back, like, because he never played under Martin O'Neill, obviously, and I just thought he was a free punt to keep the squad, like. Do you know so no?
But it baffles me that the boy hardly done anything wrong. He hardly got a chance, and he looked all right. And just like some folks' face just don't fit. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors and whatever, but that one baffles me. And there's been a few over the years. You just say to yourself, they've hardly had a chance. And
Slagger Bielka's another one, I suppose. He's done all right since he left.
I think, based on fuck all apart from the emptiness in my head, that Martin O'Neill has sat down and looked at the squad and looked at what he's got, and they've said to him, right, we need to trim the wage bill for you to add to the wage bill. So he's kind of looked at it and went, right, I don't know this guy. I've got 3 centre halves to do. Somebody's offered me $2.5 million. I can get him right after the bill straight away without growing attached to him at all. Do you know what I mean? Just fucking punt him straight to the door. I think there's a bit of that. I think that's why Welsh went. He went, right, we'll get rid of Welsh. Welsh can go. I'll keep Murray. Murray's on a pittance. That allows me, because he's obviously, we started off at the show talking about the 2 boys. We've obviously looked and went, if we can do more up the park as Celtic, then the defence shouldn't be a bigger problem. I mean, you'll probably find Scales will only get half the credit, the criticism that he fucking got last year, because we're actually doing things the Celtic way in terms of finishing. I mean, like, so Tanecki is a guy that I always go, he's got something. But see, Tanecki now, if we're going to play 2 forwards, don't know if we will, but we're playing with a proper striker. And we Duran looks like somebody who's always going to nip in there. He doesn't need to hold on the ball as much as he was. He should be beating the man and getting the ball in. Do that 18 times. You'll find out what the guy likes in front of you. Do you know what I mean? Rather than... See, the big frustration with Tanecki, I felt last season, was he'd done 2 things right and then the big thing rang. He either held on to it, shot at the wrong time, or his crossing was garbage. Whether he can improve in that, I don't know. But as I say, kind of that's where my thinking is. I think Martin O'Neill's he's wanting what he wants, and I don't think he's. I don't think he really cares about because I mean, let's see with Palmer. Palmer had a great season at that thingy, but I bet you Martin was like, right, just let him go. No, I'm not interested. Not interested. You know what I mean?
But
that's
if the big centre half get bought for what was it, 4 million?
4.5.
So he's probably one of the top earners. He'll work better anyway. So he's probably looked at him and Carter Vickers and said, if I keep the two of them, they're probably at the higher end of your wageable. I mean, the two of them are probably in 20 to 25, if no more. So then he's probably that. Like, it's only one of them I need. So sort of pick what one it's going to be. And as you said, if somebody's going to offer, what was it 2.5, 3 million for him? Then
2.5 we go for him, aye.
So then you take that, didn't you?
Scott, I never thought of it that way. You're right. Like when you think of it that way in Palmer as well, it's easy. You've got to get rid of the X amount of players. It's very easy just to get rid of the ones you don't know, isn't it?
Exactly, aye. You've not got any emotion. I mean, so right. I'll give you a bit of part about the boys there, right? So what we'll talk about is the big. I'm not getting to the depth of the guys who've left, right? So obviously Casper Schmeichel's bolted, right? I dare say a decent wedge as well. Lewis Palmer's joined Lech Poznan. They were already bombed out the Champions League, happy day. Stephen Welsh, I can't imagine Stephen Welsh was on a big. Mike Narowski joined Lens for 2.5 million. And Dyson Maeda. And Dyson, would it be right in thinking Dyson signed a new contract after he signed? So he'd have been on a decent amount, I don't know. So he said he's joined Ipswich for a fee said to be around 8 million with an add-on, whatever. He's actually 29 this summer. He played 212 games for us and scored 79 times. Fuck's sake, that's decent, isn't it? And as I say, right, so Camilo de Duran signed for a fee around between 4 and 6 million for Azerbaijan runners-up Karabakh. Turned 24 in February past. Born in Santa Marta in Colombia, and he's 5'10". As a youth, he played for Independiente Medellin, Huracán La Ojo, and the fantastically named Cozy Corner Nico. He also had a loan spell with Flamengo youths, playing for their under-20 side. According to his old coach, Sebastian Botero, who was his coach at Medellin, he would have signed with Flamengo back then, but he got injured. He ended up going to Portugal, which is a mad thing. He ended up going to Portugal for a Portuguese district championship team called Lusitaniana. And he scored 19 goals in 20 games, getting him a move and got him promotion. He got himself a move to a Primeira Liga, the Portuguese side with Estrela Amadora, but only played for the reserve teams. He returned to his former team, Lusitaniana, and he scored 11 goals in 18 games, getting him another promotion, this time in the 3rd division in Portugal. And then he was on the move again as he went to the 2nd division with Portimonense. Again, he was used on both wings and as a support striker and up front. He never really played infrequently up top, and he scored 5 goals, 1 assist in 28 appearances. And he finished 15th out of 18. But that got him a move to Karabakh for around 200,000 last summer. In 48 matches, he scored 15 goals and 10 assists, along with 7 yellow cards. Playing on both wings, but he was more central at times. Scored 5 Champions League goals. Scored a goal and assist versus Benfica in a 3-2 opening day away win. He scored at home in a 4-2 loss against Ajax, and he scored 2 in a 3-2 home win over Frankfurt, as well as a goal in a 3-2 loss against Newcastle in a playoff round. It seems that we were speaking to him beyond this summer, because he says he's actually been, when he was interviewed, he says he watched our last few games. He watched the Hearts game and all that and was buzzing. So he signed for us on the 10th of July, as I say, and in the friendlies, 3 games, 3 goals. And then next up, record signing, Kasper Warts Tenza Ho. He was born in Randers in Denmark on the 6th of December, making him 25, standing at 6'1". He had a youth career in his homeland playing for local sides Borup and then Randers before signing full-time with the Latters, and by all accounts is a prolific goal scorer, scoring 23 goals in 19 under-19 league matches. He made his debut in April 2018 in a big 3-0 defeat, but after infrequent appearances, he only scored 1 goal in 17 appearances and was moved on loan to Iceland in July 2020 for the rest of the year. But by all accounts, that loan was ruined by injuries. He was sold to Danish First Division side Hobro after 22 games and 1 goal for Randers. He scored a further 4 goals in 12 appearances, getting himself another move back to the Superliga with Aalborg. In a season and a half, he only scored 3 goals in 21 games, and he was loaned to Norwegian side Stabæk, where he scored 8 goals in 14 games before the move was made permanent. He only played another 3 games before Bodo signed him, and that's when it all kicked off. 54 goals in 103 matches, including a career high of 21 in 43 games in the 2024 goal season. 9 of the goals came in Europe. So we signed him on the 29th of January for a fee said to be around 11.5 million. So what I think's really positive at both the boys, they're guys on the way up. They're no guys who have had, it's often the way with Celtic, innit, that we sign guys who have stalled it. You know what I mean? Like a Yeti and stuff like that. Guys who have kind of, they've been good, and then they've went, and they've come back down and we've picked them up. But both these boys are still fucking hungry as fuck, aren't they? Yes? No?
I thought somebody else was going to come in there. I would say so, and they're a good age as well, and they've got plenty of games under them. I mean, so they're not coming in here and they're quite naive. Yeah. They've played in Europe. They've got an understanding of how to play against different styles. So I think that's the important thing as well. And for me, it's a good age. It's a slight change, as you said, because probably previously Celtic have tried to bring boys in at sort of 21, 22, so they're a wee bit older, which would probably mean you're only going to get maybe 2 or 3 years with them, and they'll try and punt them on and make money. But if that's what the model is, then that's fine. But no, I agree. They've got that sort of game understanding. You know what I mean? They understand. They know how to play out the game. They know how to use their body. They know they're fit enough. They're probably sort of physically they're there as well. It's interesting when you speak about the wee guy Duran. We met at bookings ago last season. That's going to be a great laugh this year. Jesus, man, you see some of the referees in Scotland.
Well, I brought that up, Brian, because for everything I've read about him, he is a wee balmer. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know if any have watched much of the friendlies, but he hunts down constantly. He has got a bit of Dyson in that terms, but you know yourself, Dyson fucking got a lot of goals with the ball bouncing off him, whereas I think the wee man, I mean, even the goal against Milan, I know it's a tap in, but that's because he's fucking hungry and he's chasing. You know what I mean?
I think it'll be interesting to see if he does play in the wing, because obviously you'd imagine he'll naturally come in, so it'll probably give the team a slight imbalance. So you'll need, if he's playing in the left, for example, you'll have to make sure that Tierney's constantly up the park, and it's Tierney that's giving you your width, and it lets him sort of tuck in a wee bit and try to make sure he gets goals. So it'll be interesting to see how they sort of play that out, or is he just going to be, if they're just going to swap it in and out between him and Huth or Hugh, it depends on what game they're playing, what part they're playing on, what style they're playing against. Is it sort of one in, one out? It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be adverse to going 4-4-2, but I don't know if we're set up for that. I mean, like, midfield doesn't allow you that, does it? But I always think 4-4-2, you've got to have 2 proper dinger midfielders.
Aye.
I mean, like, you've got to have. But it's interesting. We'll talk about Palmer there. I always thought Palmer would have benefited from Kieran Tierney more than Greg Taylor, because Greg Taylor was coming in the park and you were often leaving Palmer running against a full-back and a centre-half, and he was either trying to beat 2 guys because he's obviously no fast, and he was doing the invert winger thing. So he was trying to cut in, and he was often coming up against 2 guys, whereas Kieran Tierney naturally would have gave him that width and would have dragged somebody away from allowed him one-on-ones.
Aye.
But see, that goes back to Harper's point with Taylor. That would be why I was reticent to have Taylor come in, but I don't know. Taylor wasn't a bad player for say. I do agree with his point about a young guy. Somebody just made a point there. It was Kenneth Todd.
Aye.
He says we've got a couple of young players that could sit on the bench. I mean, what's the name of the boy? Is it Hatton, is it?
Aye, it was a left winger.
The winger looked the part.
Aye.
I mean, sorry, on you go.
I was just going to say, see for a game, if you think about playing Dundee, full house, it's opening game of the season, should win, they'll probably dominate possession. That's a game you could fling a boy in. There's nothing expected of him. You're not sure if a big centre forward is going to be fully fit. You know, it would give the fans a buzz. It's one of the games you'd like to see. Because to be fair to boy, he's done well in the two friendlies. But has he done well enough to get a start? Probably no. But it'd be good to see that because it would give the whole place a lift to see a young boy. Because I think Celtic fans are craving that because for too long we've not had a young boy coming in and playing. To be fair to Donovan last year, he done well, but you felt as if he was flung in at a time when the team weren't performing. So you're not sure if he was just a glimmering hope that you had because you were like, he's something fresh and he's trying. It'll be interesting to see how he does this year in his second year, which is always more difficult. But it would be good if a boy could get some minutes at least on Monday night because it would just give the place a lift. But it's going to be interesting to see.
I think Hawk will play for the start because he's a couple of games into the season. It's not as if he's coming in.
He made that point himself. He says, I'm here. He says, I'm fit. He says, I'm in mid-season for me. He says, ready to go. But see back to your
2 games of the fucking mid-season.
Was the Norwegian League, they know in the middle of their season?
I think you said they're only 2 games in, I think.
They play summer football, do they not?
Could be, I'm not sure.
Maybe they had a break for the World Cup or something. I don't know.
Pipe down, Harper.
He said in his interview, I've played 2 fucking games.
Did he? Right, okay. Take your word for it. But back to your point, Brian, about giving the young ones a chance and that. I think we've got the right man at the helm there for that. You know, it's all short-termism with these managers, and they want to do what they can do with their best 11 to get them over the line. And Martin Neal was renowned for it. You know, very, very rarely gave youth a chance, and I don't really see it changing much.
Especially I'm only here for a season as well, So,
exactly. I hope I'm proved wrong, but I think that's what holds us back as well. I reckon the league needs revamped, that there should be like that under 21 rule, and I reckon they should actually enforce it that you need to play one of them. Do you know, I reckon it should be more stringent. There should be like limitations, and everybody must have to play. Say you've got to have 3 Scottish under 21s in your squad, and one of them must start again. Something like that. I think some revolutionary that to actually bring the game on in Scotland because.
But the Hungarian league done something like that, didn't they? They've brought in a foreigner restriction. But I think it's if you've got the money, you can do without it. Do you know what I mean? But no, I don't disagree. I think you're right in terms of there is a desire amongst us. There's nothing better than seeing one of your aim. I mean, Celtic can fucking get a history of it. And I do understand why they don't, but I mean, if we go back to Ange's time, so Ange had every sub Ange was making, it seemed they were coming on hungry to play. And he was bringing on like Giacomakis, he was bringing on Ori Kane, he was bringing on Abada, and they were all hungry to play and they were all hungry to score goals. So you were winning 3-0 and you were making 3 subs, you were winning 7-0. Whereas under Rodgers, you were winning 3-0, more than likely you'd end up finishing 3-1 and the game would peter out and you'd be up the road back to the boozer, do you know what I mean? Whereas there was opportunity to play more of the young boys. So you think about it, was it Mitchell Frame come on against Feyenoord, played at left back or left mid, looked apart. The boy Turley, we made big deals with him. And then Ricardo against Aberdeen, come on, dropped the shooter, fucking magic. They played 1-2 games and then disappeared. It's not. I'm not even talking about like they played 1-2 games and then sat on the bench for the rest of the season. 1-2 games and then nowhere in the squad. Jason, you were talking about your man Pullman, is it? Pullman. What was the name of the boy?
When was
The boy
that?
you were the Spanish kind of.
Yeah, the young 15-year-old.
Aye.
We've got that young guy who scored there 100 goals, right? And he's got rave reviews, and he's picked to play for Spain under 6. Is it under 18s or whatever? I can't. One of the Spain youth teams he's already been picked for. Right?
Zion Pullen.
Zion Pullen, right? So he's already. I mean, what more can that boy do at his age, right? So why don't Celtic roll the dice and give that boy a 4-year deal and start including him in the first team squad? I mean, Rodgers came out with this pish that players aren't ready until they're 21. I actually went to a hang at Celtic Park and I actually said that, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Pelé played at a World Cup when he was 16, but it was only about the game's changed and everything. So, Brian, I'd be interested in your thoughts on this, obviously being an ex-player. Do you think there's any merit to that, what Rodgers was saying, that he doesn't think players have developed enough until they're about 21?
I think what he was meaning when he was saying that is more about the game knowledge and the game understanding, because especially when Rodgers played, it was a particular way that he wanted his teams to play, and players had to sort of follow that sort of structure. In terms of boys playing, the biggest challenge that we've got in Scotland about how boys are not ready when they're 20-21 is because they've not played enough games from the age of 16 to 20. Yep. So in Scotland now it goes under 17s, under 19s. So it used to be 16s to 18s. But see, when we'd finish under 18s, because there's no reserve team football, they've no experience playing against men, playing against sort of senior pros. Sort of what you were talking earlier on, Scott, about any actual when he comes on and he takes a goal gets short and sort of spins in behind. You sort of used to get that when you played reserve games and you'd play against senior pros and you get taught a lesson about how to hold the ball up, or about if you try to go nip the ball in front of somebody and he'd roll you or whatever it was. And that's where the issue is, and that's how boys are not ready, because boys have not got they're playing constantly at 14s, 15s, 16s all the time, and 17s it shortens a wee bit because there's less games. Then it goes to 19s, there's even less. Then after 19s, it's wilderness. Then they're hanging about maybe the first team, they get the odd wee loan if they're lucky. Then when it comes to 2021, you sort of get why Brendan Rodgers, these boys are not ready, but see all the boys that you bring in. So if you look at, I appreciate Celtic have not signed a lot of boys for Scotland recently, but if you go back through people like Scott Brown, Ryan Christie, Stuart Armstrong, Mackay Stevens, they all played 50, 75, about 100 games with a previous club. So they had that game knowledge because they were in with Dundee United, they were in with Hibs at a very young age, so they had that sort of game experience, game knowledge, game fitness. Whereas Celtic have got that gap just now, and that's why they're really struggling. So I can see why he's saying it, but I too sort of agree with you, Jason, when you're saying they're going to have to start gambling on the young boys and just saying, right, here's a 4-year deal and protecting them, because what's happening is all the English teams are looking at them saying, come on down here, I'll give you 4 or 5 grand a week, and see if you don't. And we've got there's that Premier League B team, or a B League, which will be standard. Even if you don't make it there, because there's that many teams in England, you'll just sort of bounce about the English leagues and you'll still make decent dough. So boys are like, right, I can go down there, I'm getting more dough. I'll be playing the reserve league. If I don't do well with fucking Tottenham or Everton or whoever it is, then I can go to Tranmere, or I can go to Southport, or I can go to Portsmouth, or I start going to doing the league.
You'll be getting more dough there than you'll be getting Murray.
So I get what he's saying, but at this point Celtic really need to gamble. There's far too many. I think there's another 2 boys left at the end of last season. Celtic have lost it on at sort of 18, they've went down south. And you're just like, if that's a thing now, then you need to sort of act on it and go, right, we have to do something here.
See, with me and Jason were talking about this boy, and Jason's basically just summarised what our discussion was. I kind of get where Celtic come from, and again, you've summarised it yourself there, Brian. I mean, there was a boy, Liam Morrison, there was Hepburn, who went to Bayern Munich.
Right.
And I remember when they went, and there was a fellow on the huddle board, and he was kind of telling me that the way Celtic dealt with it is typical Celtic, and like Celtic, by all accounts, Celtic are a very defeatist club. They don't like to fight for things. So, Bayern Munich approach one of your players, young players, Celtic go, well, we can't battle against that, and they'll just stop all communications. Marty brought up his cousin's boy, or his cousin's nephew or son wanted to play with Celtic, and Tottenham came in for him, and Celtic pulled out because Tottenham were looking at him, whereas the boy wants to play with Celtic. Do you know what I mean? He wants to come and try. With this one, I kind of get it that we can't be gaining potential $2 and $3 grand a week, because you might get landed with a guy who's no go to. I mean, Liam Morrison, I think will end up going having a great career. Might not be top level, but he'll have a great fucking career. Do you know what I mean? And he will always have it in his bag that he probably knows German. He played fucking stayed in Germany a long time. But when it comes to, I mean, this boy, there must be the talent within Celtic that we go, this is the one. This is the one we need to bank on. This is a guy that, let's go for it. This commit ourselves to making this wee guy get through it. It might bite you in the arse. I mean, I'm led to believe that wee Islam Farouz was just the worst character in the world. As soon as the money started rolling in, he was just a balmy, a wee guy. That's what I heard second-hand info. I don't know. So it might bite you in the arse, but we kind of need to bring something through soon enough. We need to, man. It's like I say, it's interesting. Can I go back? Sorry, can I go back to what you were saying with Donovan? Because the Donovan one is really interesting. When he first came in, I was like, brilliant. He looks apart. And then he had some big, poor games. And we're obviously at Hearts. He was under pressure. But the rest of the team capitulated that day. And I think it was a European game. He got taken off a half time and stuff like that. But there's two ways of looking at it. I always remember when Rangers were shit, Rangers were bringing young boys in, and any of them that made a first team game, they were getting hyped to the world. Oh, the future of Rangers, and they all just get swept out. They weren't good enough. They were only playing because they were skint. But then on the flip side, you've got the Tierney one, and Tierney's situation was he got himself an opportunity. Celtic were fucking garbage at the time. It was under Ronnie Dyer, but he took the jersey. And then he looked at it and went, I'm going for it. And he took it. And that's up to Donovan now, innit? It's really up to Donovan. Donovan needs to be in front of Ralston.
He's an interesting one because I know a bit about this, right? Because it seemed like he wasn't very good when he was 16 and that, right? So here's how Scottish football was totally fucked, right? We've got Scott Gemmell in charge of the under-21s, right? 9 years Scotland haven't qualified for a major tournament. He's still in the job, right? Has he been sacked? Ellie's just telling me he's just been sacked.
Well, the new! Is that fucking hell, Ellie?
When was that, Ellie?
Was it 5 o'clock tonight?
A couple of weeks ago, she says, there you go. Aye,
fucking Ellie. 18th of July. By the way, we're on the ball. We're on the ball, guys.
So, but see, the thing was, he had his under-16s team, under-18s team, blah blah, kept the same players all the time, and Donovan wasn't getting a look in. And somebody in the SFA says you need to start looking at players that have actually improved, and Donovan was one of them. And then they gave him a chance. I reckon that's how he started getting a chance at Celtic, because these guys are entrenched with. They've seen like a team coming up for the 16s. And they keep it going. But some of these kids, say they've got deals with Man United, say they've got deals with Chelsea and stuff like that, they think they've made it and they stop progressing. You know, they just like stagnate. But you've got your other kids that maybe aren't as technically gifted, but they're dedicated and they work hard. And it's got to be a moving target. Because surely when you've got an under-16s team, see by the time it gets to under-19s, you would probably expect you'd be lucky if half of them would still be in the team. There'd be loads of people within the country fucking get improving. Some have got different chances, some are at different levels, some get better later on in life. But we just don't seem to see that. And then you take it to Celtic, we've got Chris McCart, or is it McManus now? Or Is it Chris McCart still in charge of your youth team?
McCart,
still
That's a
heading
guy
up.
played in Motherwell. That's the only team he played with. Went to my school. Nice enough guy and all that. But what the fuck's he doing at Celtic? Why have we not got top coaches? Why do we not employ top coaches at a youth level to bring these players on? It's fucking criminal.
Because it wouldn't pay them.
It's an afterthought. Well, that's exactly it, Brian.
It wouldn't
You've
pay
got
them.
somebody there that's on just the same as he'll on the same wage as some joiner or something like that.
So who'd have ran
I don't defend Ryan being a joiner, right? But I'm just saying.
Brian, who'd have ran the setup when you were in there?
It was Willie McStay came in.
Willie McStay, yeah.
So I was in with Willie McStay, and it was Eric Black got brought in to be the reserve team manager, but then Eric Black went to be the assistant under Benglos.
So it was.
But even at that time, it was, I think before Willie McStay, I think they hardly had anybody.
What was Eric Black like? Because he was hyped to the moon, wasn't he?
I was. His training that it was really good, but he sort of struggled in the dressing room to, because people didn't really know him, and he struggled when he sort of conflict.
Right.
But on the training field, he's brilliant. He's a coach, and I think that's what he was brought in to just develop. But then, very quickly, he became sort of more senior. And I don't know if that suited him so quickly. I think if he'd have built into that over a longer period of time, it might have helped him. But a lot of boys want to shoot. And at that time, it was all Celtic coaches. It was all Celtic fans. It was all ex-Celtic players. But I think it was Big Jock Brown that brought him in. It would have been.
What do you think about that approach? I mean,
there's an element of that.
The whole kind of ex-pro thing has its place, I believe, but like it's funny because we're on the circle that we're saying being part of Celtic shouldn't guarantee you a fucking job at Celtic, whereas the Huns are at the stage, fuck, if you're fucking support us, we'll give you a job anywhere. And I think everybody goes round a big circle because we'll go round. And then we'll get to a point where we go, we've not got enough. I mean, I always liked like AC Milan, who we'll speak about later. AC Milan always promoted their ex-players because they knew what the club meant and what it took. And I always thought that was good. But you can't just get a cunt a job just because they wore the jerseys. Do you know what I mean? Like you say, you're talking about, they've got to have the credentials. And I think being able to be approachable but be stern, but still be good at the coaching is fucking hugely important. Sorry. So what's your opinion?
No, I would just, you sort of need to make, I always think the players, if there's ex-players who are willing to be coaches and are invested in sort of spending the time to develop players, I think it's always a good thing to have because it lets players, sort of young players understand, right, this guy's made it, and here's the development that he's going to make me. He's going to take me on a journey. He's going to develop me, and I can learn from him. But what you need to make sure is when, for example, if it is Celtic, that Celtic's got the structure within the club to make sure that coach, for example, if it's fucking Callum McGregor, that Callum McGregor is able to develop as a coach. So he's got experienced coaches behind him who are developing him as a coach, which will allow him then to develop the players. So he needs an experienced person beside him. He needs developed. He needs time with sort of the manager. So it's the overall structure of the club that you have to make sure that you've got enough bodies there that Callum McGregor's not just been left exposed and he's been told to go and take a team. Because probably Callum McGregor's never done a team talk. He's never done a training session. He's never had to motivate boys. That's where you need to make sure you've got experienced coaches who might be Celtic minded or not, but you need to make sure that they've got structures. So there's too many times that ex-players go into clubs and they just think they're either going to be good coaches, but they need other people to develop them.
Yeah, 100%.
Coaches, and I don't think that's what Celtic's got, just because they've not got the structure in place. They've not got the, obviously all the sports science. Have you got a lot of sports science sort of department just for the youth setup? Have you got all the physios for the youth setup? Have you got all the kit people for the youth setup? Have they got a separate training run? Is there a connection to the first team? How often do they connect? Then you can just put some. See if you've got all the things in place, and then you can just put in an experienced coach in, as Callum McGregor, and he's able to flourish because he's no got the pressure on him to do all the other stuff, but he's able to flourish as a coach while still being guided and supported and learning from an experienced coach.
Definitely. I mean,
And that's where
what you're saying is just common sense, though. I mean, like, see, to be honest, take away the coaching side of it. It's basically it's just work, isn't it?
it's a job.
I mean,
It's like any job. But you would imagine, see like the German teams, or you were talking about AC Milan, I bet they've all got the structure in place. There's plenty of people in about that 16s, 18s, 21s who have been there, done it, been doing it for years and years. And if fucking Maldini wanted to go in and take a few sessions, then he was able to go in and do it. And he would say, I like this, or I don't like this. But it meant there was always an experienced guy there to feed back to him and say, by the way, see that session, see if he'd have done this, or he'd have stopped it here. And then all of a sudden he's developing as a coach, and it's just starts the ball rolling. But there's too many times the coach you just get put in, and it's like, I go and take a session. Or when you must know how to put a session on it, it's totally different. They sort of actually doing the session to sort of storing there yourself, and you'll know it yourself, Scott, because you've done it obviously, and you're trying to get boys to run about or do a passing drill, they're all fucking about and they're carrying on and they're looking up at the sky and you can't be arsed, and you're thinking to yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I putting myself through this?
Brian, I mean, like, I would never ever kid on that I'm even fucking near the level what we're talking about, but I've seen it. I mean, like, I'm running our Wayne's football team. All the Waynes are all shit scared of me. I've got the big loud voice. I know what I'm doing, and I've brought in and a wee coach has come in beside me, and he's talking, and they're all just fucking. They're only 10-year-old, but they're ignoring him. You know what I mean? But what he's doing in terms of coaching is much superior to what I'm doing. But I'm the kind, as you say, I mean, it's and then you fling in the fact that there is that respect thing as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, the fucking Zidane is a perfect example, isn't it? Zidane's he's now the France manager. Zidane's got the gravitas to tell the guys what to do and why they should do it and when to do it. Do you know what I mean? They'll all fucking go, whereas I don't know. I always. Sorry, Jason.
I'm always wary about seeing top class players take jobs, coaching jobs. I think, like, I always use Roy Keane as an example, right? I just think they're terrible managers because they expect players to be as good as them.
Aye.
You know, and it's like, it's an awkward thing because nobody.
Whereas Zinedine Zidane's got what, fucking 4 European Cups as a coach.
Exactly. And imagine he's like, you're fucking shite, pal. Do you know what I mean? How can you not do that?
No, I know, but I mean, France has got potentially the fucking best squad in the world by a stretch, and it's now up to him. But we're good enough. But no, it's interesting. It's interesting. I'm with Jason. I think a wee restructure of Celtic's youth.
I mean,
and go and get the best you can, but put a structure that underneath the best you can is guys like Johnny Hayes and stuff like guys who know what it's like to wear a jersey, know how much the jersey's fucking heavy on you. Brian, you fucking wore it, God's sake. You said it earlier on. One day you're a king, the next day you're a dumpling.
100%.
Here's the thing, I've said this 100 times in this podcast about Athletic Club, right? When they sell Kepa, they invested the 90 million in the academy and built the best youth coaches. See we sell Engels for 25 million and Celtic come out to the fans and say, right, we're going to upgrade the youth, but obviously they've got Barrafield now, but we're going to invest more money in Barrafield, build a hotel for kids, and we're going to employ the best youth coaches. We're going to use that 25 million for it. Everybody would be fucking over the moon.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, I'd say like a lot of us would be sceptical. Go, lying bastards.
Aye, obviously with their track record, but if they actually put a plan in place and just published it to everybody, this is the road we're going down with this money. This money's been earmarked. We've got £25 million now that we're putting into our youth structure. Fucking happy days.
And could do that easily as well. Could do it easily.
We don't have that vision, Harper. That's just will never happen. They just don't. They don't think about stuff, and they just take that away from Martin O'Neill and says that 25 million is not for you. It's not for the first team. It's for the development of Celtic Football Club, and we're going to invest in the youth. And then they get like Athletic Club Day, they've got 20,000 kids that's affiliated to their club. Every youth team in Biscaya is affiliated to them. Celtic then reach out and say, we're going to build a network and pick clubs in every sort of area, the west of Scotland or whatever, and say these clubs are going to be affiliated to us, and put a coach in every one of their clubs. And then they're watching their kids constantly, and then you've got a conveyor belt coming in, and you've got top coaches at youth level bringing them through at Celtic Park to get them ready for the first team. That's achievable. But
I like all that. All sounds brilliant. And all that. The big problem we've got is where we are the new in terms of we don't have a track record of. See, whereas everybody came through that system knowing if they're good enough, they'll play in the first team. Whereas
somewhere, Scott.
No, I'm with you, mate, and I'm not arguing against you. I'm just kind of right now we're still prime picking for every English team in the world.
But if you've got a pathway that they see,
I'm with you. Aye.
Every year there's 2 players or whatever getting introduced to the first team squad, and they're getting bedded in, and they players say, right, there's maybe 30 of us here, but there's 2 getting a chance. They're all bursting their balls to get there.
Yeah. Right, we'll use Brian, right? So obviously you came through, you played that brilliant day that the King come back and you played at Celtic Park. Who's the guys that you think could have went on and done something, but either A, never took their opportunity, or B, never got the opportunity that you played with? I know I sprung that on you, kiddo.
Fucking a year and a half, Jesus, man. A Friday night, I'm trying to, I can remember 20 years ago.
Apart from yourself, obviously, Brian.
Apart from myself, there's a lot.
The glasses killed you.
The glasses, I couldn't see. There's a lot of boys that you look at who had without a doubt had the quality. That's what there's no doubt that they had the quality, but see when it go to that stage at 18s, they just didn't have either they're not physically developed, which means they get let go, or they just didn't have like the game fitness to play at that level. But it was more then at that time when I was there, the club were more expecting the boys to just be ready at that point. They weren't as much willing to develop the boys from like 16, 17s, 18s. It's different now because it's all the sports science. It's about what you eat. It's about how much you sleep, your recovery, your injuries, everything. It's probably gone too far with it now. But back then there were so many boys who, without a doubt, because that's the thing I would say. See, I've not seen any of the Celtic. I've seen the young ones. I've not seen like the 17s or 19s recently. But I have no doubt there'll be at least 4 or 5 players in that 17s or 19s that you'll go and watch and go, they're proper players. They're good players. So, I mean, they could go and play, but they've not got the games under their belt. And it goes back to the point I made, your Scott Browns, your Riordans and all that. They were all playing in Hibs first team when they were sort of 17, 18, 19. So they learned how to play in a man's game, and that's the bit that we're talking about, and that's what probably Jason's sort of pushing it. You sort of have to put the boys in at some point, and that's why I was saying that young wide boy, the left winger, if he could get minutes on Monday, I'm with you. I don't think he will, but see for that first day of the season, imagine all the boys that are 17s and 19s now are saying, "Geez, that's brilliant. Look, he's just went on. He's played. He's done well. He's had a good pre-season. He's done well in 2 pre-season friendlies, and he's got 20 minutes." That gives a full squad at 17s and 19s a lift to go, fuck, there's a chance for me. I've got a pathway here. I've got a chance of going through it. Whereas if these boys, no, Scott, you were talking about the boys that come on, then they just disappear. And they're not even in the squad. They're not even sitting on the bench. So it is very much, and I do appreciate, I've not really answered your question because I've not gave you a name, but I don't want to say names because it's no nice on people. But
I know, but
there's loads of people who had the technical ability to go and play at that level. I've no doubt.
Right, well, I'll fling you a couple of names, right? And I think me and you already spoke about it, right? So the boy that I kind of got to know, Brian Prunty, right? And Brian is a wee bit. He's got a wee bit of needle with Martin O'Neill in terms of the way things went. He felt he was good enough for a go, and he never really got the go. And then Brian ended up again with attitudes of people. He only played with fucking Airdrie, and I'm going, no. He played with fucking Airdrie. He became a fucking Airdrie legend, man. He scored fucking marbles. What a and you're thinking, Brian, he could have probably been. I mean, I never really worked for him at Aberdeen and scored against Celtic and stuff like that, but Brian could easily have been, I think, a Premier League goal scorer.
Aye,
could he have done it at Celtic at that point, or was the standard too high? Mark Fotheringham was chased by fucking half the country at one point, had all the ability in the world, never really done the chance. A guy that I thought deserved fucking so many more chances. Craney, left back. I thought he was going to be the man, and then again, it never. But he ended up having a great career down in England as well.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So just guys like that. That is it. Just a case of circumstance never happened for them at that point, or was it they were missing? As you say, see when the boys came through. I mean, Simon Lynch, Sean Maloney came through. Sean Maloney had the ability, but he had the wee stoutness about him. Simon Lynch was awfully slight, was he? I mean, and that Celtic team back then was a big fucking monster of a team, do you know what I mean?
Aye, I think it's different now, but Maloney sort of came into a team, or he came into a position that was lacking in terms of like a wee sort of number 10 wide player. And that's a wee bit about it as well. Are you coming into the team at a point? So, for example, just now, if you're a left back in a youth team, you really should be pushing because you know there's a possible gap. You know
good shout, aye.
If you're a centre half,
there's a fucking goalies, Harper.
Well, that's the other one as well. If you're a goalie as well, you're looking at it going, by the way, I've got a chance. I've got a chance here.
Well, that Overly was fucking floating about for ages, and now he's away.
Whereas if you're trying to be, for example, if you're a centre mid just now, and it's Celtic Youths, and you're looking in front of you, you've got Bernardo, you've got Hatate, you've got McCowan, before you even get to McGregor, Engels, and Needham. Aye, before you even get to the starter, so you go, that's a hard shift. Whereas if you're looking at, if you're a left back just now, you're saying, by the way, it's only Tierney. So that's only one boy. So I could be that guy. So a lot of it's got to do with that as well. But it's very much about trying to give him a chance. But need to play games. It's like they need to play games. That age between, and that's where Scottish football loses a lot of boys. That age, 18 to 20, 21ish, boys just disappear for the game because they don't play.
What was the script with the reserve league lads? Was it down to cost or something? Was it teams didn't have reserve teams or something like that? Aye,
it's cost. I think there is now a reserve league cup. Is it a league cup or is it a league that they only play once? There's only like 12 games a season or something. There's something like that anyway. But I don't think Celtic and Rangers are in it. But the big thing used to be you would play like 36 games. So you would play a full season. So if Celtic played Rangers on the Saturday, then it'd be Rangers versus Celtic on the Sunday or the Monday. So you would play like the same card. So if boys weren't playing on the Saturday for the first team, the chances are you would play midweek against them. But it was a financial thing, and obviously if it didn't want to play on the parks because it ruined the parks, so then it moved to the under 21 league. That's where I played. To be fair, the 21 league was still good because you were allowed to play. I think it was 4 sort of first team boys, 4 or 5 first team boys. So again, like you were playing against sort of senior pros, which was brilliant. But then
guys come back for injury and stuff like that.
Come back for injury, aye. But then they scrapped that, and it's went to the. I think it was nothing for ages. There wasn't anything for years. Then they've moved it to the B League, but I think it's only Celtic that's in the B League next year.
Hearts even into it now, are they?
I think so. I could be wrong, but in that.
The thing is, I do feel for Celtic because of stuff like that. Because I mean, like obviously we're in the lower league, and we can't get promoted, which is mental. You know what I mean? So for those who don't know, what Celtic try to do is once you hit 18, maybe 19, I'm thinking it's 18, once you hit 18, you become one of our reserve players, and then we look to get you on loan to somewhere. And that's where they've introduced these co-op things where you've got 3 co-ops, you've got one in each league, and you can go on loan to them. But they're obviously fucking trying to win leagues and all that. They're not there to fucking benefit Celtic. They're there to benefit themselves. So our Lowland League team is full of guys 15, 16, 17 playing against men.
Aye.
And that's how everybody's going, it's a pile of shite. Celtic can't even win the league, and you're kind of going, right, but they're getting experience against fucking adults. It's that period from 18 to 21 where, as you say, they're doing fuck all. You know what I mean? They're just training.
And I think
Maybe
there's
get a game here and there.
There's some rule as well, like to play in the B League, you can't have any more than sort of 5. I think it's 5 first team appearances, or what I say, right?
Yes,
there's
that's
a number.
right. Yeah.
There's a number on it. So if a boy does go in and he does well for the first team, but then say Tierney comes back and he's fit, then he's snookered.
Yeah.
Then he's not playing games.
That's fucking crazy.
So he's sort of, he can't play in the B team because he's played maybe 6 first team games, but he's not getting a game in the first team because Kieran Tierney's back. So the wee boys sitting there going, right, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? Whereas that's where the reserve league used to be great, because you'd go then playing, you'd be in the first team the Saturday, you wouldn't play, but you'd go and play in the reserves on a Monday night, and you get your 90 minutes, brilliant, then you go and train, and that would build you up, whereas new boys are just sort of missing. It's a mental time.
As for a country, I mean, like, again, when the Scott Gable one is at least a move in the right direction. Near Harper, Scott Gable, I mean, I remember as a fucking player.
Took 9 years.
No, I know, but Jason, it was just failure after failure. And we're sitting, and like everything, we went to this, God, we're having a total different tangent here, but Scotland as a whole, where was the reaction to what happened in the summer? And there's a bit of, and once Clark wrapped it, there was a bit of bite back going, use your own money, use cost us. He goes to the tournament, you're going, but what's the point in getting to the tournament if you're not really going to try? But then on the flip side, Scotland beat everybody they should have beat and lost to everybody they should have. If you want to be technical about it, I mean. But I don't know, I think Celtic.
But the thing is, we should be able to compete with Morocco. I mean, I get they are a good side, but how can we not be a good side? You know, we're just no good on the ball. It's like a hot tatty, and it's just like your big players, your guys like McTominay and all that are playing in top class football, just didn't they produce the goods? And you just say, well, these guys there are all playing at the top level, and they just look as if they're lost when they play against decent players. Against Morocco, they actually played all right. You know, apart from letting the daft go in at the start, they were actually pretty good. They matched Morocco nearly ever, apart from the goal, but it just isn't good enough.
In terms of Scotland, right, to go off tangent, and we'll come back to it, but what would be the plan of attack? Would you want right now, if we think that our under 15s or whatever are a decent setup, go and get a really, really top-notch coach and with the intention that he's going to do like De La Fuentes, and he's just going to follow them up, boom, 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 boom.
To be honest with you, Scott, that's the key for everyone. For me, it's coaches. See, coaches and managers, they make a difference. All these kids can play football. They just need coached the right way, and I just don't think we're getting coached the right way. I think it's just everyone's set up to fail. We don't invest in the grassroots. We don't invest in the way players are actually coached. I mean, our young players are getting coached off a guy that was at school with me and only played with Motherwell. What makes him? How's he going to bring players on when you've got coaches? I mean, we say we're one of the biggest clubs in the world, right? But you look at the structure of the club, we're absolutely poundland. You know, it's poundland. But you're paying 11 million quid for a striker there, right? And you might get 25 million in for a couple of, talk about 30 odd million for 2 players. Why don't you use that money to invest it and make your infrastructure better, but they're no interested.
But the irony of you saying, why don't we use the money we get? Celtic have got the money to change infrastructure.
Exactly. But they've no interest. I mean, we've still got the same probably youth setup, albeit they're playing in better parks now and stuff. We've probably got the same youth setup as we had in the 60s.
They can't even get the setup. They can't even get the setup. They can't even get the setup right with the first team. Never mind the fucking youth.
Aye, I know, and the world's changed, and it's pathetic. Motherwell are even talking about the money they've got in for their signings. They're building a purpose-built youth academy. I bet theirs are a lot better than ours. They've got a bit of forward planning.
But that's the thing where we are. Even Celtic, obviously, Celtic have built they've developed Barrowfield into they've got a big indoor bit. But it's 2026. The teams down south have had that for 15 years.
Aye.
It's fair on to their second version of that, and their third version of that.
That's a spell a point behind the Huns already. Fuck's sake, man.
I'm a minute behind. On you go. I'm starting here watching it. Any booze?
No. I mean, I don't. See, the thing is though, right? You don't need state of the art to produce good football players. You don't need state of the art.
You need good coaches.
Well, that's basically what it is. You need. I mean, don't get me wrong. You want a setup that's going to benefit everybody involved. Tommy Tuchel, what's malign Tommy Tuchel? I heard a story about him when he was youth coach at Mainz. He fought with the board for years to get all these Waynes the best, and Mainz eventually leaned into him and invested millions in the youth setup in terms of the building and all that, and gave them everything. And he said he was 6 months down the line and he noticed these Waynes are different, and he went, I've made a total arse of this. He says, we've gave them too much. See, these guys need to, what they should, and he says it's a learning process for me. He says what they should do is they should start at crap, knowing that once they get better stuff. And I thought that was interesting, and I always kind of, I mean, don't get me wrong, have the right facilities there to allow them to get better, but it really does come down to the coaching. It comes down to I can't criticise Chris McCart because I honestly don't know what he's coaching like. I mean, Brian, you might go and meet somebody in the morning where I've heard you in that podcast. Chris McCart's fucking outstanding. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, I would never ever.
I'm just using it as how many youths come through.
Exactly. Well, that was what I was going for. I would say it's the Scott Gemmell thing. I dare say Scott Gemmell, everybody who coached under Scott Gemmell will go, brilliant guy. And you're kind of going, well, how did the team go? Well, rotten. I mean, fucking, we never qualified for fuck all. So like I say, I'm definitely with you, Jason. I think if Celtic came out tomorrow and went, right, we're taking this big lump and we're going to fucking invest it in this, and we're going to get this guy and this guy and this guy, and hopefully is enough, because at least you're trying. See, right now, Celtic are telling them nothing. I mean, I know a lot of people like to use Celtic's word against them, but if you say we're hopefully going to get mere return, and even the young team must be going, imagine you're a player at 14 and Celtic come out tomorrow and go, by the way, we're investing millions in this because the youth team are our future. You'll be sitting going, that sounds all right for me, doesn't it? Your dad be going. So, I don't know what the point we're fucking making anyway.
Well, at the end of the day, you spend the money in the youth and you save the money going forward. I mean, it's an investment, and it's like fucking no rocket science. If you're churning players through and you're bringing them through, you're no fucking paying transfer fees. I mean, why do they not fucking do it?
So to get back to what we were speaking about, so Thomas Hatton, he signed a 3-year deal in December 2024. So he's contracted up until 2028, and he was involved in our pre-season games that summer, 2024. So who would that have been under Rodgers? Was that Rodgers' first year back, Queen's Park and United? So he's been thought of for a wee while. Because back to my point, he's been involved in and nothing. But as you rightly say, Brian, the setup we've got the new doesn't fucking set for these young guys. I mean, that's nonsense, isn't it? That you can't go out and play 10 games for the first team and then go back to the B team.
I mean, who makes these fucking rules? It's the bowling.
Exactly.
It's fucking bonkers.
You know who makes the rules? The Lowland League guys.
Yeah, they don't want. Because what they didn't want is, so say the Celtic B team was playing at they're playing at home, and they're playing on a decent park, and Engels is coming back for injury, and he goes and plays 60 minutes. The Lowland League's like, nah, we're not doing that. You can't even bring in boys back like that. Instead, it's actually sort of penalised the other boys, the young boys who probably need the games, but they've maybe come on the park. So in one minute, so you can imagine that like, managers are probably thinking to themselves, if I put this boy on, this could hamper this boy in the long run. If I put him onto a first team game, and this might sort of put him over the threshold, it means that he's not going to get another game for maybe 3 months because he's not going to play the first team, but he can't play in the B team. So you can imagine the managers know, because that's one of the things they'll look at before it and go, this is tough. And Donovan probably, that he went over that number quickly because it was just more requirement. Because Johnson was injured, then Ralston got injured, so it was like you're in. You're in, so you're playing. So actually, just forget about the B team. You're going to have to be part of it, and that's when you find boys usually develop. As I said, it'll be interesting to see how he does sort of this year, because his second year is always usually your most challenging.
Yeah.
And also when he first came in, he came in when the team weren't doing well, and anything that anybody did well, you were just like just jumping on it as a sort of glimmer of hope and saying, "All right, he's going to be a shining light." But
like I said with the Huns, remember the Huns elevated anybody that came through. I mean, the wee boy Reece McCabe and all that kind of the boy that Rogic done when he scored the goal at Brooks. Remember, these were these were the future, these young guys. And they were just bog standard boys. They weren't. I mean, they were getting games because Rangers were fucking honky tonk. But Donovan's an interesting one because we'd heard, didn't we? We Marty was telling us that he'd heard that Ralston was wanting to go and play football, and you would think he would suit Ralston to go. I mean, he fucking played the World Cup there, Matt. He should be playing fucking first team football every week, should he? Really? And then Donovan becomes your. If Johnson goes, I'd like us to go for Arahu. I think he's a step down for Johnson, but he'd a set of fucking gonads on him, the wee man, didn't he? Hanging off lamppost. I mean.
So it'd be good to see Ralston go though, because he's just getting in the way, Donovan. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
And I feel that's I just feel that's the same as Taylor. I think it's just the exact same thing.
It's a good point, Harpo. It's a good point.
I think there'll be a time when Ralston wants to go and he wants to like cement it, because he's never ever going to be their first choice fullback. But I think he's just happy picking up the wage, because I said for years he's a good boy to have as an understudy just to step in when you need it. He always gives 100%. He's not the worst player in the world. You know, he's definitely not the best, but he's got quality. I mean, fucking played at the World Cup, but he's decent. But he's certainly not your first choice.
I'm surprised he's not wanted to go and play. Because, to be honest, out with us, and obviously that mob across the water, I think he's a shoot in for every team.
Any team in Scotland.
Any team.
But it's probably a big part of the fact that he's maybe living the dream being at Celtic. Fucking, he's maybe getting enough games in a season that he's happy with that. He just loves being at Celtic, man. He just loves being at Celtic. He's making good money, so still get picked in Scotland.
and I don't think he's on amazing money. I don't think for 1 minute, because I don't think he'd be hard to deal with.
But as you say, it's one thing. He could go somewhere else. He's not going to get the same dough anywhere else. And the thing is, even sitting on the bench, he's getting that win bonus.
Do you not think he could get a team in the English Championship? No bother.
It probably could, but then you have to remember, it's what age is he, 26, 27?
Maybe about that age.
I thought he'd be older than that, aye. So, right.
I thought older as well.
So he's probably, what's he on about? He's on about $5,000 a week or something, as a guess.
Well, I was led to believe he's on a bit more than that.
I would reckon about 7 or 8 or something.
Right, so he's on 7 or 8. He's not going to get that anywhere in Scotland. So say it's down south, he has to go. He's probably I'm sure he's got a wee lassie. I'm sure I've seen him up at gym. He's probably got a nice house in Hamilton or Boval, wherever it is. The kids have probably started school. He's picking up win bonuses next week. He's picking up league winners bonuses, Champions League bonus. Probably starts 15 games a season roughly as an average. So he's probably saying to himself, I do want to play, but I'm sort of 26, 27.
He's 27 November.
So he's 27-year-old, right? He's 27-year-old. He's 28 in November.
Probably
last three seasons. So this season he was involved in 35 games. Season before 23 games. Next 2 seasons before 18 and 18. The season before was that mad season 47. So
and as you say, Brian, see when you put all the human side into it.
Definite shit.
It's
Andy's still getting picked for Scotland.
Played at the World Cup. But so I'm happy with him at Celtic. You know, I reckon he is, because he is more than happy to give 100% if he's not the first choice fullback, which he wouldn't be. But it's looking like it could be now. So if and that we don't want to see that really. And no disrespect to the boy, I've got all the time in the world for him, because he's a trier. He's 110% every time he's on that park and leaves.
Right. 2 sec, J-Bo, right? David C7062. Ralston never got a look in at Dundee United or St Johnstone. He's the luckiest guy in Scotland to play at Celtic. He's going nowhere unless he's told. When Andy Ralston went to Dundee United, he was 19-year-old. He played 15 games and scored 2 goals. And he went to St Johnstone 2 years later and he played 24 games. So harsh and incorrect, I would call that. Anyway, sorry.
Absolutely incorrect. Yeah.
No,
I get there's loads of players fucking can't stand them, right? And that's just loads.
That's the way of the world, isn't it?
Fans can't. But the guy.
Fuck's sake, we've got £11 million midfielder at fucking Harper support, don't we? Fuck's sake.
By the way, here's the thing I meant to say earlier on, right? And I still don't believe this to be true, right? I don't believe Celtic are a well-run club, and I don't believe any of the players or management or whatever believe Celtic are a well-run club, because we just simply aren't, right? But I think it was interesting. Callum McGregor's come out recently and made the statement that he wants to see his future at Celtic, but the club must match his ambitions. Did you read that?
Right, that was his interview. But
no, well, I read it today. I don't know if it was a recent thing, because it was after the was it not after the speculation?
No, I came out with that about matching my ambition at least a month ago, if no longer.
That was ages ago.
Right.
It's in the rounds again. They've been talking about it. It's because he changed agent and all that stuff.
Exactly.
I think the press were bringing it out again.
So that's what it is, Brian, right? But I thought it was a certainty to believe in. So as soon as he changed the agent to Rodgers, boy, I'm like, he's definitely off. Because he wouldn't need a new agent. He would just go in and you would think, surely he's not that stupid. Surely, I mean, I don't see why these players need agents when they're away clubs and they can talk to them and they can negotiate it themselves and no give the agent 5-10% or whatever. What's the fucking point? But anyway, my point is that with these signings, and so that my point's actually invalid, because if that was a couple of months ago, maybe we'll still do. There you go. I thought it was actually recently to say that So my point is totally invalid.
Nice one, Jason. Look forward to your now.
I know we don't edit this, but if you want to take it, a couple of minutes of the podcast.
Don't worry, I'll edit it, pal. I'll edit it.
Feel free.
I've gone right in the show notes.
Did you ever hear about Neil Lennon in the 6-2 game?
You were going to say that.
He was outstanding.
Aye. Right, so Monday night, Dundee. Think score will be no. It's a bit early for that. Right, I've got what am I going to bring up? I wanted to bring up your thoughts. Mate, I was going to go into Champions League draw first, but Franco Baresi. So we're all of an age, even though you're the young buck, Brian, and the group tonight. It's usually me. Fuck's sake.
Actually, I'm feeling great now. I've got a spring in my step now.
That's it. You're still a specky kid. Which so the bold Franco Baresi passed away for a wee illness, and 66-year-old. Which year do you have an opinion on Franco Baresi?
Me?
Yeah.
Or anybody?
No, you go
you go first.
That was early. It's early Italia 90 for me. No, not Italia 90. Gazzetta Football Italia. Channel 4. Early days with AC Milan when they would play the 3-4 rule, and it would be Rijkaard, Hullet and Van Basten at the early points, and it was Papan came in after it. And he was one of the players who I always thought he looked shattered anytime you see him, because he had that sort of rough look, but he always made the game look dead easy. And it was one of the players you watch and you go, fuck, this football's dead as easy as it, and you just sort of step in and you just take the ball off the forward, because that's all he used to do. And he's reading the game, and even he would go to ground, and that's back in the days when the offside rule was different then, wasn't it? That's when you were totally offside. You had to properly play the offside rule. But he was just one of the guys that made the game look easy. And for a centre half to do it, because he looked slow, he looked weak, but yet he was never beaten for pace and he was never shrugged off the ball. So you're just like, how do you do that? Because there's nothing that you look like should tell me that you should be a top class player. But then when you watch him, you went, "You're brilliant. How are you brilliant?" But it's really sad that he's passed. Absolute legend of a player, and it's it's years after that you sort of appreciate how really good he was. He's one of the best.
Just like my memory, like obviously I'm a bit older than you guys, but when you went back to that, I didn't know about the 3-4 rule, right? I didn't know about that. But what I always remember was AC Milan v Inter Milan was always like the Netherlands versus Germany, because Inter Milan had a few Germans and AC Milan had the Dutch. It was kind of like, but always mind our John, when we were kids, he had that AC Milan strip. See that, the one with the European Cup on it? Yeah. It was the old one. He had that, and it was Franco Baresi was just like, I mean, they had Maldini in that as well, but Baresi was just the absolute. It was like Roy Keane on steroids, just amazing. And I totally agree with what you said, Brian. I think it was like he just looked like he was had a hangover every game, sort of thing. He was on the bevy and all that. He had to watch or anything like that for the game. But just fucking, he was outstanding. Just an absolute general. And it's one of the guys that, see if you've got him in your team, you can't get beat. You know, he'll help us win. You know, see if you're losing a bit of confidence, or you're a bit more sure who you're playing in that. See if he rocks up and plays in your team, you're like, fucking, you're winning this. You know, he just refused to fucking let you get beat. Just an absolute fucking general, and just what a player, man. And it's funny because there's loads of players have died while we've been doing these podcasts, but I've never actually thought about bringing one up.
Yeah, good man.
Really getting on about it, but he deserves it. And unreal.
Look the same age his entire fucking life. I mean, as a player, I think one of the guys just looked old as a player. So Yankee AC Milan, you just picture him in that jersey, and fucking Maldini's the other one. I think his entire career at AC Milan, he never went anywhere else, did he?
No.
So was it Maldini? Was it Costa Curta? Baresi and
Tassotti
was
was Paolo. You had Sebastiano Rossi in goals. You had Tassotti right back. You had Costa Curta and Baresi, and Maldini was at left. But before that, you've heard of the boy Galli, who he ended up, I think, Berlusconi's guy at Monza and stuff like that. But he was the other centre half. But you remember though that Tassotti kind of came out the team, and then Panucci came in. Remember Panucci came in at right back? Oh, what?
So he played for the two Milans, didn't he?
He played Inter Milan as well,
played Inter Milan, ended up going to Milan. But
what a shed he had as well. Just that. See the flip. He was like an old school mod. With the fucking the side shed and that. It was fucking class.
Just what you touched on it, Brian, right? So Gazzetta Football Italia, right? And now we all picked a team, you know what I mean? And I picked Fiorentina because I kind of fell in love with Batistuta. But that Milan team, because even before Gazzetta Football Italia, we would have watched them in the European Cup.
That's right, aye.
They were just unbelievable. That, and I mean, the thing is, we all sit and talk about Ancelotti and Zidane and stuff like that, but Ancelotti was as good a player as he was a manager. Ancelotti was fucking amazing in the midfield, you know what I mean? But Baresi was just, I was a kind of weird way in that I love defenders. So like Mick McCarthy was my favourite Celtic player, you know what I mean? And then Paul Elliott and stuff. And I love Baresi, just fucking loved him. And it's right what you guys are saying, Maldini came in and Maldini got all the plaudits because he was this big, handsome guy. Nothing looked hard for him. Whereas Baresi just looked like he was 66 back then. But it made football so easy. I actually kept a wee thing because I was kind of hoping we would talk about it. So this is Diego Maradona talking about Baresi, right? He says, when I arrived in Italy, everybody was afraid of facing Baresi. In one match, Michel Platini said to me, "Hey, new guy, you seem to like dribbling the ball more than passing it. Let's see what happens when you face Franco Baresi." I replied, "Baresi, who's he? I'll show him a thing or two." 2 months later, it was a match against Milan at San Siro. I dribbled past Carlo Ancelotti and knocked him to the ground. Everything seemed easy. I thought I could score without a hitch. Suddenly, someone lunged at me from behind, and before I knew it, stole the ball from my feet with incredible grace. I thought to myself, who's this guy with number 6? He passed the ball to Mauro Tassotti and said to the fallen Ancelotti, "Leave this guy to me, I'll handle him." That was Franco Baresi, the one forward sphere. I realised there was an extraordinary defender right in front of me. At the end of the one match, I asked for his jersey and put it in the middle of the San Paulo Stadium. It was an expression of my respect for the best defender I ever faced in my career. I mean, how class is that? You know what I mean? Fucking hell. Aye. What a guy.
That's a proper way to finish. Jeez. What a comment. That was outstanding.
Brilliant, huh? Brilliant. There you go. As you say, Jason, I always laugh. It was a pal of mine, he's like, I hate these Facebook posts now, like somebody dies, RIP, and he's like, you don't fucking know him. What the fuck are you doing RIP for? You know what I mean? But I think there's people out there that I woke up this morning and I saw he was obviously got the news. I was gutted, man. Fucking gutted. Gutted is like when Maradona died, I was the same part. I was like, fucking gutted. It's 66, isn't it? Even a kick of the ball, is it? You know what I mean? But alas, what a guy, man. Brilliant.
Definitely, 100%. And it's, as I say, when you see, the funny thing was, see when you said you all picked an Italian team, I never ever did.
Nah.
They always say more golf fucking clubs and fucking Tiger Woods and all that shit, right? But I never ever, because I need to have I need to have some link to it. And the only link that I had was basically Inter Milan because we beat them in the final. So I kind of watched them a wee bit. But no, I just love Italian football, and I love kind of watching it. And like, I don't know, I'd probably, if I've had to fucking cards on the table to pick a team when I was younger, it'd be Roma probably, because I always looked at
It's
them.
Harpo's team.
But it was like,
I only started liking them because they fucking Anoni, believe it or not.
It's because they come from Rome, right? A big place, and they were always shit. I was like, fucking, I kind of took a wee shine at them. But then
That's the Mets fan in you.
Falcao and that when they played them, then they did win one Scudetto back then. But I didn't really take a hang. But then I'm going on holiday in 4 weeks, and obviously it's fucking, the cards have just fell fucking perfect for me. So the team that I want to like is Palermo, and we're in Sicily, and they're playing Sampdoria at home, so I'm fucking buzzing for that. So
but you went to the Rome derby, did you know, years ago? You in London, did you know?
No, me and Linda went to Rome that weekend, and then we went to buy the tickets, and we didn't have our passports with us. So
that's right, I remember that now.
We went back to get our passports, and then went back, the ticket office was shut. And the next day, the only tickets that were left were like €180 or something at the centre stand. And I'm like, fuck that. That woman get like, they paid 2/3 of the price because they were trying to, because of all the hooliganism, they're trying to attract women to go to the games. So she would have got hers cheaper, but they need €300 or whatever.
They saw you had shorts, a Celtic tattoo, a bald head, and a fucking Stone Island jacket. I'm like, fuck this guy.
And I'm like, fuck that. So we ended up just watching it in a boozer. And I was actually wanting Lazio to win. Roma were at home. But see when I was in Rome, there's Roma shops everywhere, right? Everywhere. And everybody was supporting Roma. And I'm like, fuck this, I want Lazio to win. No, it just, I don't know, just fucking, it's a bit of an underdog.
But when you're in Roma is sort of Rome, eh? But Lazio's fucking sub a bit side of fucking Rome can hang it.
Aye, so Lazio's the region that Rome's in.
Aye,
you know, that's the region. So, but I don't know, fucking obviously there's loads of Lazio fans in Rome as well, but in the city centre, fucking hell, Roma's fucking...
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Totally Roma. You never see. There was one Lazio show. But the thing is, there was a wee guy, there's a newspaper stand, I got talking to him next to our digs, and he was a Lazio fan, he was going to the game, and he said to me, I've got a ticket, I can give you the ticket. And I'm like, hey, fucking, I mean, I loved it. Seeing the away end, I fucking loved it. But, so, but anyway, so I'm going to Palermo in 4 weeks.
To get back to Baresi for 2 seconds, it's funny that the Italians, and you spoke about the Inter Milan AC, the Milan derby, and you had Giuseppe Bergami playing centre half for Inter, and did you know? You probably didn't know that Franco Baresi's brother played over 300 games for Inter as well. It's centre half. He's only 2 years older than him. He played fucking, you know what I mean? How good's that? He's brilliant. Brilliant, man. I mean, and the Italians, you think there's some, we're talking about the pinnacle of Italian football at that point. And
totally.
And Franco Baresi is rated as the best at them all. I mean, and you think we've seen Maldini, Maldini says, if you do a slide tackle, you've already made a mistake, whereas he was the best fucking slide tackle I've ever seen in my fucking life, you know what I mean? And then you had guys like Cannavaro coming up and all that, and then obviously that whole Juventus team, and then the Chiellini and stuff like that. So exactly, mate. And then if you're saying that Baresi was the best, I mean, the story of the 1994 World Cup, obviously it finishes poor for him, but if you go by Franco Baresi, I think played the first game, got injured, had an operation, and come back and played the final 30 minutes or something, and the final nothing each. Fucking, he's the best player in the park, misses a penalty. Fucking hell. And Romario at that point was a bit arguably the best. know what I mean? He was the best striker in the world, and he closed the boot. It's a sad day, man. Sad day, but God bless him. Brilliant. Right. So we're on the home straight. Champions League. Now we know for a fact that one of these teams is who we're facing. The draw is on Monday. I presume it's going to be like midday, but I don't fucking know. So we can get. So these are all champions, obviously. Lask of Austria, Viking of Norway, Arat Armenia of Armenia, obviously, or NK Selja of Slovenia, Kaira Almaty, who we know, or Levski Sofia, Aris of Denmark, who we spoke about earlier, or Sabat of Azerbaijan. Now, that's who we can draw. And the games will be played on the 18th and 19th of August, and the return game will be the 25th, 26th of August. Now, looking at Orem, right? Celtic have been beating Orem. Put them on the fucking line, Celtic beat them all, fuck's sake. But obviously we can't be that narrow-minded after last season. But surely there's a determination within the whole fucking club not to fuck us up. Because
see, to be honest with you, Martin O'Neill is the ideal candidate here.
Exactly.
I cannot. He's a fucking wily old fox. And whilst I wasn't delighted that he's our manager for this year, he's the best we probably could have done with the clowns that run the club. And he's a wily old fox, and he'll get us over the line. I'm convinced that.
I think so as well.
Whatever has to be done, it will be done, and we'll get it done. And obviously, we've got guys now that can put the ball in the net, which is the main thing. We obviously.
And obviously, there's a wee bit the romantic in me thinks like Martin O'Neill's last ever fucking tilt at the Champions League, so it's good to get the Champions League, surely.
I think so. And by the way, see last season under him, there was some good
results
in Europe. 100%. And performances, man.
Aye, really good. And you went back and you thought, I mean, I was in Turin that night, obviously fucking that cunt dive for the penalty at the end, that Amoruso. And fucking, you know, we were brilliant that night. Gone to the fucking Stadio dell'Alpe, fucking toe-to-toe with Juventus. But I'm very, very confident. And see if you'd have said that we are Brendan Rodgers or even an Ange was fucking murder in Europe. But, you know, obviously he won it with Spurs, right? Fucking put that down my throat. But with us, we were fucking wide open. But with Martin O'Neill, he's a wily old fox, and I'm pretty sure we'll fucking get up.
I think the only bit I'm probably more concerned with, I'm probably not as confident as what you guys are saying, but I think it's essential that the second leg is at Celtic Park.
Celtic Park, aye.
I think that's a bit, at this time of the season, for whatever reason, Celtic seem to really struggle away from home.
Is the second leg at Celtic Park?
We don't know.
Is it not come down if you're seeded, no?
No, because remember last year we played that.
You were seeded, so how does it work then?
Mate, I don't know. I don't think it does. I just think it comes down to...
Just be drawn.
I think it's just drawn that way because last year, as you guys said, we drew nothing each fucking in Parkhead first, didn't we? And we were seeded last year. I mean, fucking thingy, we were the 9th lowest seed in the whole tournament. About fucking 400 teams last year, Christ. I'd like to play the cunts again just to fucking...
By the way, I would take... See if you could tell me any team to take the new. I know they're travelling, I would take that Kaira at the North.
But as Brian says, you'd like to dare them first leg and then bring them back.
Aye.
Go to cunts, know what I mean? Pricks. Don't hear 40 beatings, know what I mean?
Celtic have cancelled their game in between, didn't they? This time.
We've cancelled.
Johnston away, aye.
We've cancelled the game in the 22nd.
Every Scottish team that's in Europe has cancelled their game. So I don't know how they all knew they were going to be. Well, they all didn't know they were going to be in Europe, because even if they lost, they were going into that.
They'd have been trapped into something.
So everybody's can. And by the way, I think Liam was saying on the chat, I need to get one in for him because I've bummed him up the last couple of months. He's like, I think that's shocking. And I'm like, oh, no, it's no, because anything that a national association can do to help the clubs that are in Europe, And if the clubs choose to cancel their games for the benefit of them, surely that's going to be a good thing for the league, for all the teams that. Do you not agree?
There's a financial benefit to the teams as well, because the more teams that get into Europe and exposure in terms of players and all that stuff, I 100% agree.
Well, you bear in mind, right? I mean, if Celtic get into Champions League, just like you just said, if Celtic get into Champions League, there's a fucking drop after the whole league, which is much more than if we get into Europa League. So, exactly like you said, Brian. But,
can I just ask you about the dates again, Scott? What did you say the length were?
So it'll be Tuesday or Wednesday, 18th, 19th of August, and the return game will be the following week, the 25th and 26th, mate.
So the Celtic Falkirk game on the Saturday and the 29th will definitely stay on Saturday.
How?
Is it Celtic at home?
Celtic at home 29th.
I think it's a shooting. I know it'll be, but why?
I'm going to book flights for that. I'm going to book flights for that tonight, and already made.
Well, Brian says you're fine, so if it all goes right, Brian will figure you.
Just book Friday and Monday.
Just book flights. No problem. No problem.
Brian will put you up. Fuck's sake.
No bother. I'll put you up in the left wing.
You put me up once.
But as I said, that's only a bit for me. For whatever reason, Celtic do seem to struggle when they play away from home in Europe at the start of the season, and I don't know what it is.
Does everybody know?
I don't. Do they? Because the amount of teams that come to Parkhead early on and look all right. It just seems to take. And again, it goes back to what you speak about, because you don't get the players in at the start of July. The players are not used to it, so the players are all getting sort of used to each other. So they're not in full flow yet. So I think that's part of it as well. Obviously, we played in D on Monday. Then it's Kilmarnock away and went in the Sunday, innit? Is it Kilmarnock?
Sunday, aye.
Sunday before you've got the game. So again, ideally, you want that to be at home. You want it to be away to get that out the road. Go and get a point. You've got another couple of weeks of training under your belt. The players have got to know each other a wee bit better. And you go to Celtic Park and you've got a full house and you go and spatter whoever it is. But I'm not as confident. I'll wait and see.
The thing that obviously puts it in me is your Scandinavian teams that are halfway through their season or 2 games into it, as Harper says. But that's the thing that gets me. You know, we've been there before with them, but I think we lose Engels, we lose AJ, we lose Maeda. That's a big part of our team that's kind of went. But let's face it, the team that started last season was fucking brutal. So we've got the big man in, and you've got Carter Vickers back. You get probably a better goalie now. Obviously, definitely a better goalie at the start of last season. If we didn't have Schmeichel in goal, we'd have qualified for the Champions League. He was a fucking disaster. He was a fucking honest to fuck. And you seen it the season before. You were what the fuck? Martin O'Neill's the fault is that as well. Not going to trap him.
God, I thought you didn't like Paddy Boner. Fuck's sake, Cassius Michael's brother.
Fucking honestly, I can't stand that cunt. Honestly.
How about Gordon Marshall?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I didn't mind.
Bro, what a cunt.
Tried his best. I know he's one of them, but he tried his best. But this cunt fucking Schmeichel out doing an interview with his dad announced his retirement for football and all that. You're like, fucking hell, what the fuck?
Fucking hell, I feel like I'm back on last week's show.
You were supposed to be the last week's show, you
I'll get out of one day, Harper.
I doubt it.
Nurse me through this. Nurse me through it. Okay, aye. If it wasn't for him, we'd have fucking qualified. Fucking useless bastard.
You're not angry about it?
I know. Fucking hell. But I blame the fucking managers for picking. You know, obviously Sinisar is an unknown, but fucking anybody would be better than me in goal than him.
Nah.
But aye, so I'm pretty confident. I think Martin O'Neill's he's the man. And the thing is as well, see the rotten mob, they fear him. They know he knows how to get out of the line. and he doesn't get beat with it very, very often.
No, it doesn't.
Aye, and they're like, obviously they're after a flyer in the night, so fucking. This is one of the times you listen to every fitbang. The season started, they cut some drop points. Fucking send it on. Radio Scotland, Radio Clyde, everything. Fucking get it on.
Fucking Monday night football for us. Right, right, as I say, we're on the kind of home state. We'll tidy up and we'll get shifted. But
I've got a few things to talk about, man.
On you go, Harper.
I was going to tell you about the Celtic shells. Thinking all that.
Yes, go for it, kiddo.
Harper. See before you do that. I mentioned it last week on last week's show, right, about this Shell's life, this Red's life, or this Shell's life. What's it called? This Red's life. What's it called?
This Red's life.
Right. So tell everybody about your podcast. I'll tell you. You need to listen to it, right? I know we're all Celtic fans, right? I've no interest in Shellborn whatsoever. Fucking hell, it's absolutely amazing, man. Listen to guys talking about football and some fucking quality tunes and that. It's fucking brilliant. But on you go, Harper.
Do you know what, right? Well, anybody who listens to this probably would have heard of this Boys' Life ones that we done, which was a sort of carry on for many of the guy that done Desert Island Tims or Desert Island Cells, then I've done Desert Island Tims. Just a bit of that. Fucking the same questions. Oh, fuck. I used to do the Daft Wee songs with the Huns and all that. I can't remember.
It was brilliant. Anyway, sorry.
No, just the usual. Same questions. Fucking any about your life growing up. On to song one. Then fucking time machines. A game you'd love to go back to that you were at before. A game you were never at. Favourite stadiums around the world. Songs. Just all that kind of chat. Like, well, as Jason says, like, I've only been going to Shell since last season, but I could do this with any football fans, do you know what I mean? Because it's just cunts telling you about games and stadiums and trips, and I love listening to all that. It's the football culture side of things, eh? We're never talking about fucking, who should be playing up front and how this one's playing or who the manager should be, all that shit. You get that elsewhere, eh? Just a bit of crack, man. Fucking, as Jason says, listen to football fans telling their story. And what I love about it is, and it's a wee bit about the same as me going to Shells now, it's like going back to when I first started going to the football, or when I used to go on the supporters bus for Allo and that, because I miss that kind of camaraderie culture side of going to football. Because when I come from Dublin, I jump on a flight and I maybe meet yourselves or whatever from a couple of fighting for it. No, all the time. No, something I'm just at the game, then you're away again. That go home to see the family and that. And I miss that sort of social side of it. Whereas going to Shells, I get all that. It's the pub before the game, then there's the bar in the stadium, you get a pint at half time, it's all seats where we go, but everybody just stands, so it's like being in a terrace and bit of crack, and the banter's brilliant all through the game. And it's like going back to football in the fucking, I don't know, the 90s. Do you know what I mean? That's what I fucking love about it. If Shells win or lose, I mean, I didn't fucking lose sleep at it, to be honest with you, from being honest with you. But I do love that social side of it.
Come on, now, you're not getting that impression when you're doing the podcast with the
boys. Well, I've got to give the boys it. No, I have to say I'm getting more and more into it. Genuinely, you can't help it, like, you know what I mean? But it's fucking brilliant. It's brilliant, man. To bring it back to the Celtic game with fucking, what a day, it was brilliant. Fucking, I know Sean was sending all the messages that you've been freezing in Scotland and that, and I met Sean, what a day, the sun was shining, everybody's out in the pubs, drinking in the street and that. It was fucking brilliant. The game was absolute shit, like, though. So just a few wee insights, like, so obviously, you know, my mate, that was his last game as the manager, Michelle Larkin, aye. So he was obviously telling me, like, he says, like, I mean, he was at West Ham and that, he's been a professional football player all around the top teams in Ireland and that, and fucking he's in there for 3 games. He says
his podcast was great, by the way.
His was good, right?
And the one that I loved, Harper, as well, sorry for butting in, was the boys that did the podcast after him. They were loving when he gave his insight. The games when he played, when he ran to the crowd and all that.
That the night in Drogheda when they brought the circle to go to the fans and this is what you need to do, and
Yeah, I loved all that. It was brilliant. Sorry, mate. On you go.
No, but he would just give me a wee sort of insight to like fucking, because it's funny, like, because he's talking about the levels of professionalism that Celtic had in, and going, really? Do you know what I mean? But he says like, just a tiny wee example he gave me, right? He says, no, when like the Shells boys are all watching the Celtic team arriving, and they all arrive and they're all wearing the same gear. He says, but you know what? He says, he turned around and says to owners, do you see how they're all coming off there? They've all got the exact same pair of white trainers on. Everybody notices that. He says, it might sound a stupid wee thing, but he says, see at our level, we should be doing that. And everybody will fucking notice us. They've went up a level professionalism. Do you know what I mean? He says, it's tiny wee things like that that fucking make you look at that team arriving, if you know what I mean. So I suppose it's a wee bit like if you go back to the Lisbon Lions and they're talking about, look at these guys in the tunnel, the Interland team, and they all look bit. So that kind of way, just the impression that you get when this other team arrives. So he says that was one thing. He says, but the levels, he says Celtic couldn't have been any better to deal with. He says anything Shells wanted, they got, and Celtic wanted for Shells, they got. There was things like Celtic wanted to use different footballs than what they use in the League Ireland because apparently we use a different football in Scotland. So they wanted to play the game with their own balls, but they gave Shells a bag of balls to fucking warm up with just so they could get a feel of the ball, like, things like that. He says Callum McGregor he said you couldn't take your eyes off him, even when they were warming up. He fucking stopped all the warm up and just started going, oh, the young boys, you better get fucking on it here. These are half-assing this. There's fucking fans say, oh, it's fucking Ireland and Scotland keep you used to it. You think this is a fucking training match, fucking forget it, you better go on it. He said, just things like that, there's levels, eh? He said, and the Shells players were picking up on that as well, do you know what I mean? For them to be involved in that. Like. And he said, Martin O'Neill, absolute fucking legend. He says, after the game, no, the manager would sit for an hour and that, like, fucking in his office. He says, Martin O'Neill came in with Fotheringham and Maloney. He says, and he was chatting to him and that, and he was asking Larkin if he was applying for the job and that. Larkin says, look, I don't feel like I've got the experience yet. So I'm down the line now, but I didn't feel I've got enough experience yet to go for that. Martin O'Neill straight away, come out to Lennoxtown in November, once the season's finished here, come out, he can spend as much time as he wants, come out for a couple of weeks, do the training, come out any Saturday match day, fucking shadow us, all that kind of stuff, like, do you know what I mean? Larkin says it couldn't have done enough for him. And he was shouting through to the owner, like, if you didn't tie this boy up, we'll be bringing him back to Glasgow and that. Obviously joking, but making a point to the owner, like, about Larkin, like, do you know what I mean? Trying to fucking bum him up and that, like. He says Fotheringham was mad. He wanted to go out the sauce, eh? But Matt O'Neill was like, no. Matt O'Neill was like, no, we're fucking, like, we're going to Portugal tomorrow, like, do you know what I mean? he was going to take them out for fucking drinks and that. But he just says, like, I can't remember some of the stuff he was telling me, but he says the levels, you just sort of looked at them, and it was a massive level professionalism up, if you know what I mean. Even though those Shells are a full-time football team, and all the teams in the League Ireland are full-time, I believe. It's just different. It's different gravy, like, do you know what I mean? There's other things I can't remember everything he was saying, but it was really good insight. And I was actually gutted Celtic got the draw at the end, eh? That was Larkin's last game. They're 1-0 up, and what the fuck's it matter to Celtic, eh? But he could have had that in his CV that he beat Martin O'Neill and Celtic, eh? But wasn't it to be the one each? But that was good. It was good, like.
It was a soft penalty, wasn't it? It was a soft penalty, wasn't it?
It was a soft penalty, aye.
It was
never a penalty.
But the game was.
Let you know, I was in a boozer and finger roll, and I cheered the goal like it was a fucking godsend.
Yamada's one and only goal, eh?
So it was.
Say that again?
That was Yamada's only goal for Celtic, eh?
Oh, fuck, aye, that. Yamada. I was going to mention him in Inamura. Yamada's away. He's actually just away on loan. You kind of hope fucking Inamura. Inamura left us this summer as well. But right, before we go, I would like your opinion.
Scott,
you got another thing?
This is what you want to add, right? So listen, if anybody wants to tune into this Red Life, you get it in all the fucking. It's on the. What do you call it? It's on Apple Podcasts. You get it everywhere apart from Spotify and YouTube, everywhere else, right? But I've got a guy lined up that you'll all want to listen to this because he's a fucking a Benfica ultra fucking maniac, but he lives here now. He's part of the, I think they're called the No Name Boys or something like. Really fucking heavy duty fucking Benfica ball, but anyway. But he doesn't want to do it online. He wants me to meet him in a pub.
Brilliant.
So he doesn't live far from me here. He lives in Lucan, and they've got the Shells game practically fucking naked, hanging there the barriers, going fucking mentally. So that should, and he's a fucking like heavy techno music producer, like goes to Belgium DJ and all that. So got to get him on to that. That should be interesting.
You know, do that on YouTube, that one, Harpo?
Well, but you can't play the music, but it should be interesting. That's the next couple of weeks.
So
Portuguese Mick.
Tell us as well, you were taking 2 Brazilians to the game. What teams do they support in Brazil? I was interested.
Sao Paulo and what's the other team that plays in Sao Paulo?
Palmeiras.
Yes,
Corinthians.
that's it. No, Palmeiras.
Palmeiras. So Sao Paulo, that's the one Bridges went and watched, wasn't it?
That's right, aye. That's right,
Yes.
aye. And see that boy, Vinny from work. Have you watched that thing on Netflix yet? About the Brazilian fucking
Mate, the beginning of the game or something.
But it's like a five-side tournament or something kind of
It
in
is
the favelas.
magnificent. That's magnificent telly.
Right, one of his mates was playing in it.
No way.
He was watching it, he goes, fucking hell. And he went on your man's YouTube, his Facebook, and he showed me their mates and all that. And he didn't even know he was still playing it. But he says that it's serious business. Like, he says they play in that, and they didn't get paid to play, but they get paid, like, if you win a game, you might get money to build a house. Or
Right.
Money. The team will pay for you, go through your driving lessons and all. He says that you win, you're playing for your life sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Because every win means something that to benefit you, but you're not actually getting paid like a wage, if you know what I mean. He says it's cutthroat as fuck.
Jason, Jason, Brian, have you heard of this show at all?
It's what's it called?
It's called The Root of the Game. Right?
No, it's no, Scott.
How's it
It's like a Brazilian word begins with an S or something.
It's called The Root of the Game.
Is it? I don't know.
It's The Root of the Game, it's called, right? It's about the Sao Paulo Varzeza street soccer, right? So, like Harper's talking about.
Oh, yeah, Varzeza, that's what he kept calling it, the Varzeza.
Right. And it basically.
Begins with an S. Right,
say that again?
Harper says it begins with an S, Varzeza. Right.
Varzeza.
I think Varzeza, fuck up. By the way, Bodo Grant's played 16 games this season.
There you go. Have they, seriously?
Yeah, they have. Somebody grasped me up in the chat room within fucking minutes.
That's how it works, fuck's sake.
There you go.
So I clocked it. I love all these Brazilian documentaries, right? I mean, like when the World Cup was on in Brazil, I remember watching all these documentaries in the Fazera, all that. But anyway, this came on and I watched it. And what Harper says, right? So see these boys, right? He kind of pinpoints the teams, but he kind of talks to the ones who want to talk. And every one of them, usual in the favela, skint, fucking, I want to be a fitter player, and they had a chance at fitter, and something never worked for them. But they go and play this tournament, and like this tournament, like all the gangsters are all watching it, and he says it's fucking serious as fuck. And as Harper says, winning this tournament can change their life. It's like, but they're no unfortunate of it, but they'll get wee things that just makes it's a brilliant show, man. And to the point, you would love to go and watch it. You'd love to just go and be involved, just stand there, but some kind of end up fucking killing you or something, robbing the fucking. But it's definitely.
Did they not say in the trailer like something like fucking mental, like 80% of Brazilian football players who play the Brazilian league came through that or played in that tournament or something?
Right, I don't know. I mean,
there's something mental like that. Like,
is the thing about Brazil is that So now the way that we all kind of look at India, and India is just like millions and millions of people, and you kind of go fucking. Whereas Brazil looks like it's got equally amount of millions of, but they all just build houses and tap the other houses. I mean, they're just fucking.
The thing that gets me with Brazil, but see, honestly, it pisses me off. See, when the World Cup was in Brazil, see, when you looked at the crowd, there's no black folk in it.
Ah, well, there's no fucking money.
Aye, and when you watched all the Brazilians in America, you went to the crowd, one or two black folk, none, and then you look at
the black folk are all playing in that tournament.
Aye.
But you know, like that Brazilian fella in my work was saying, like the reason Brazil are kind of shit now is because the way you get on as a player in Brazil is if your family's got money.
Aye, well that's it.
Do you know what I mean?
I was actually going to say that here, haven't I?
Aye.
They've lost the hunger for it. I mean, like,
I reckon Marty hit the nail on the head. It's Catholicism.
Catholicism, actually.
They've juked it. They're into that fucking.
Right. Well, what a segue, gentlemen. Harper, have you got anything else you want to?
I'm maybe thinking
Any
something
other wares you want to sell?
I've got
kept going with that stuff. I'm into that. I'd rather keep.
No. I just now we're on that segue. I want to talk about the FIFA thing.
All right.
Fuck me. Right. Do we all know the script? Does everybody know what has been proposed by FIFA?
Yeah.
Donald Trump's boy's going to buy a stake in FIFA for 40 million quid.
So Infantino, right? So this World Cup obviously is now an outlier in terms of, they were expecting this World Cup that it's a more increased World Cup, so more people attending, more bigger cities and all that, so they're paying them more into FIFA. So FIFA were expecting to make 12 billion from this World Cup, more than they've ever made before. They actually made 15 billion. And right, so they made 3 billion more. They sold everything. You, Jason and Brian, both yous were at the World Cup this summer, and yous talked about the expense, how America, which isn't the cheapest place in the world anyway, everything was hyper extended in terms of the price. Everything was, in fairness to the Americans, they were just trying to get the money back that they've outlaid to FIFA by all accounts. But FIFA have fucking dragged this money in. Stupid things like, say, the grass of the pitch, that was all sold off. Every player who made their debut in the World Cup, they put a patch on their jersey, and that patch was then sold off. So the player themselves couldn't keep the patch. That patch was sold off. Everything had a price. So Infantino he's monetized FIFA to a way that's never been done before. Now, considering Platini was in UEFA, sorry, Blatter was in front of him, and Blatter was fucking launching out to his pals, and they were all fucking sticking it in their pocket. Infantino has now, because of the money he's bringing in, he's literally bought his succession plan, because under Blatter, the maybe give fucking Caracou $1 million. Under him, because FIFA's making that million, they'll give him 3 million. So what he's now proposed now to sell off 21% of FIFA, 21% of every international competition. And he's now saying, though, that everybody else, every back him, will earn at least 3, 4, 5 times as much as they did before. I want to ask your opinions on it, and what do you think? Because he's looking to get, so there's 211 members, and he needs 106 of them to agree. And by all accounts, he's already got that in the bag. But UEFA's obviously fucking told him to fuck off. But what's your immediate thoughts on it?
Well, my immediate thoughts is anything's possible nowadays because you see the way the world's ran with Donald Trump, etc. And anything's possible. So we're living in like it's
Different
like
for sale.
Aye, it's just the world we're living in is like a parallel universe. It's just something that you didn't think 20 years ago. 20 years ago, wouldn't you? As far back as that, you wouldn't think it'd be possible. But now it's just absolute bonkers. And the money men that run the world just run the world and they get away with it. And so it ends possible. But what the point I would like to make is see the money they all made, right? After tickets, blah blah. It's for Brian this, right? See when you were in the stadium, and obviously you were in 3 hours early. See when you're paying see like in the Boston, the Gillette Stadium, you're paying like $18 for a bottle of Budweiser.
Aye.
Stuff like that, right? Did you notice when you went to the baseball it was the same price?
Aye.
Right.
Because see in America, right, that wasn't FIFA that put that on. That's what Americans pay when they go to a sporting event. So see in that Gillette Stadium, see the price of everything in that stadium, because we were in that Patriot Village before it, and we were drinking for like 4 hours, and the bill was like $80 each. You know, it was with food as well. You know, so it wasn't too bad. But when you're in the stadium, I went and get 4 beers, and it was nearly $80 for 4 beers. But when you go and watch baseball, me and Harper have been to loads of Mets games, loads of baseball games in America. I've been to see baseball all over America. You pay that every drink and every American sporting event. So that's the norm. That wasn't a FIFA thing. Just in case you thought they'd bump the prices up, they would normally pay them like $5 or whatever for a beer. That is absolutely the norm. So where they make this money, Scott, obviously it's through advertising, because obviously with the water breaks, like there wasn't just a half, so there's quarters. So they'd obviously introduced that. And I get how they did it, because some of the games, the weather would have been wild. You'd had to have a water break. But other ones are playing in air-conditioned stadiums. You didn't need it, but I get how they had to balance it and make every one of them have it. But obviously that went into the advertisement, so they made it off that. I'm interested, like the fans obviously paid fortunes to go to it, and the ticket prices were astronomical, right? But you can understand why that's America. But see if they have that same tournament, right, the World Cup, see when it goes to Spain, Portugal and Morocco, I think it is, the next one, right?
Yep.
They can't charge the prices. People won't pay it. You pay it, you're going to America.
It's interesting, because that's the kind of legacy question. We were in Spain, and me and you finished the pod last week, and we were sitting talking about, you were asking about my holiday, and all 4 of us have all been to Spain however many times. We've been to mainland Europe and that, and the price we pay for beer, the price we pay for meats and all that is wild in comparison to mainland Europe. You get into a supermarket in mainland Europe and you're like, we're getting bumped constantly for everything. Yeah. Honestly, in Britain. And we were sitting chatting away going, everybody who's in it, I mean, like, so you boys went, cost you a pretty penny, never killed you. But the stories going out about people who fucking remortgaged their house, who fucking sold motors. All these people to go and see Scotland and cost them a fucking bomb. Obviously, with the games in Spain, Portugal, Morocco, less so. Is that cost in these countries, is the cost going to go up because FIFA are charging as much? Do you know what I mean?
People won't pay it because it was in America and it was accepted because it was in America. But the thing is, you've got to think, right, we come from like a generally probably rich country still at the minute.
Yeah.
Earn decent wages. These South Americans and that going to America, how the fuck did they afford their tickets? You know, how did they afford to go and watch their team? You know, they come from like places where economies and their wages are a lot less than what we would earn in this country. And you just think to yourself, how the fuck do they afford that?
I think it was different. See the South American countries. I think there's big populations of them in parts of America already.
Mhm.
So in terms of there was a lot of them, and especially in Miami, there was a whole host of.
But you say that, Brian. Do you remember when Boca Juniors were playing River in the Copa Libertadores final?
They play it.
And then they moved it to Madrid, and the place was fucking jumping. How the fuck did they all go on it?
But the thing is, Scott, see when you land at Madrid airport, obviously Ellie was there for 6 months, I went out a load. Every flight coming into Madrid airport was South America.
Really?
Oh, fuck, aye. The amount of South Americans live in Spain is unbelievable.
Yeah, well, that's
there's millions of them. Millions.
But you'll still get support. Like if they do it in Europe, the big thing about America was that the cost of the travel was through the roof. So the travel companies were able to charge a fortune. Whereas if you're in mainland Europe, the chances are that you'll be able to go to different parts of Europe and you'll be able to get internal flights and you'll be able to travel.
Yeah.
Accommodation will still be through the roof. It's through the roof just now anyway. And the euros, no, it's no different to what we're doing now really, to the pound. So you're really then, it's just leveling off. But to go back to the original point, speaking about what UEFA's or what FIFA's currently doing, I was sort of laughing a wee bit because I seen Gary Neville talking about it. He was on a golf course or something, and he's like, it's disgraceful and it's shocking, and the country should stand against it. Should sort of stand against it. And I was sort of thinking to myself, really? I was like, right, the Premier League's been doing this for 10, 15 years. You know what I mean? And the Italian league's felt the brunt of it, and the Spanish league's felt the brunt of it, and the French league's felt the brunt of it. But the English league has been at the forefront of getting all sorts of money pumped in. All these multi-billionaires, consortiums are all taking their teams, can outpay everybody, can pay boys $500,000 a week, 300k a week. But now, once FIFA do it, it's terrible. And I'm like, it was going to happen. I'm sort of the same as you, Jason. It was going to happen. It was just a matter of time before it happened at this international level, because it's happening to such an extent in the English Premier League. It was just going to happen.
But see the bit that gets me, Brian, right? As I said on our chat, right? He's buying a share in it for 40 million quid, right? See if I won the Euro Millions tomorrow and a stake of FIFA was up for 40 million, say I won 100 million, right? It's all fucking hypothetical shit, it's never going to happen. But if I won 100 million, a stake for FIFA was up for 40 million, I'd be like, I'll buy that.
But see, the thing is though, right? What makes it unacceptable to me is this guy is selling off the goods for short-term gain, because this is a long-term loss. And so this guy, what's that?
40 million quid. It should be like 2 billion.
No, I know. That's my point. But right, so what they're thinking is they want to sell 21% of FIFA Forward Enterprise, and they want to raise 3.2 billion. Right, that's what they're looking to sell it for, right?
40 million, that's
no. So 10 billion in development funding over a cycle of 2027 to 30, which is 6.2 billion more than the current structure, right? So all that money is going to go to teams, but over the long term, we all know what's going to happen if they sell part of FIFA. The companies will then demand something back. They can say as much, and they'll end up controlling it, and the stuff like the Balogun stuff will happen more and more. It'll end up the tournaments will end up in Saudi every 8 years. Right, that's what's going to happen.
You have to play it in America, Saudi.
Yes, right. Because see, if you play it there, we don't get the financial backing, so no, we're not happy with that. I was listening to something this afternoon about it, and a massive point which has been totally undersold is that if you sell off FIFA, because see right now, FIFA is totally underpaying the guys who make it what it is, the players. Players right now are still playing for national pride. They're still playing for their countries. Now, if FIFA sell it to companies, players are going to go, well, this is just a fucking a cash grab. So we want more money, and that's what's going to happen. I think FIFA are playing a dangerous game right now because it's going to end up that the biggest players are going to go, well, fuck that. If you're earning fucking billions out of this, I should be earning billions out of this. And that, I thought it was a magnificent point because see right now, you've got these guys playing for their country, for their pride, for their jersey. As soon as the guy in the top of the tree starts selling that off, you shitting me that, Jason, they cunts that you fucking despise, are you telling me the agents are not going to go, wait a now, we want a bit of this?
100%. And it just
and then that kills international football, Stone did.
Aye, totally. Because it's international football still got a bit of innocence about it.
Yes, definitely.
You know, and if you start monetising it and making it it just becomes a sham.
Yeah.
And then it's the guys are picking certain players in their team because they've got a better sponsorship deal.
They've given me a fucking Instagram followers.
But it brings all that shit, and it's just fucking shambolic. But nothing would surprise me nowadays. Nothing.
But it must be. So if you go back to the point that he thinks he's going to have enough votes, the 200 odd votes, he needs 100. What is it? It's 106 or something, right? So he thinks he's got the votes. So why are the 106 countries? Now, I appreciate you might say they're all corrupt, but the full football.
No, it's not corrupt, Brian.
But they 106 votes have been told that they're going to get a better deal than they're currently getting.
100%.
Right. So why then is that the case? So if you're making $3 billion for the World Cup, and he's like, actually, see for the next one, I'm going to sell off 21%, and it means that you're going to get a better deal than what you're on just now. Why are they countries getting a better deal and accepting it, but FIFA are saying no? No, FIFA. UEFA are saying no.
Yeah,
why is UEFA? So are UEFA already at a higher rate? And you're like, no, that extra $2 billion is not for me.
No. Well, you think about it. I mean, see, you've already got countries like Czech Republic within UEFA who went, I think this is a good deal because they're looking at themselves. I wouldn't be surprised if the SFA are sitting going, by the way, we could deal with that. So currently every member gets 3 million every 4 years. The next cycle they get 3.75, and then it goes up to 6 million. This is in dollars, by the way. The next cycle of 4 years. Under this, see for the next 4 years, they'd be getting 40 million. So it's a massive fucking bump up. And that's how you've got these guys on side. However, see your Spanish FAs, your Italian FAs, none of that. They don't need that same. And the English certainly don't. So you'll notice everybody who's kind of stepping against it are all generally infrastructures who don't need the monetary value because they've got these. That's ultimately what it comes down to. But it's wrong. It is wrong. It's 100% wrong. But if we sell it now, you'll never get it fucking back.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I get what you're saying. If you sell it now, then you don't get it back. But the principle of each country getting more money from the overall is correct. So see if the country, see if FIFA are making billions for that World Cup, but each country's still only getting 3 million, but they sell 21% and they're getting 40 million. Why is that a bad thing?
Because ultimately you're saying. So what was the whole point?
It's the countries who make FIFA. It's the countries who make the World Cup. It's the countries who attract the players. So why are the countries not getting more money?
Yeah. But I then go back to my point. I go back to my point because FIFA's going to be making more money. What happens if the players start demanding more? What happens to that 40 million that they've promised? That 40 million is going to come down. They might go back to the 3 million and the players start earning more and it becomes a fucking fashion show. It doesn't become a football tournament anymore. It becomes who's fucking, it becomes a baller league. I mean, I think it's a dangerous precedent. I do think it's really dangerous because Jason summed it up. There's an innocence of the World Cup now. It's still got the same thing.
I do agree with that. Aye.
I do say that I am on the sceptical side of it. But once you introduce money, and then see, we've already seen the dangerous start of allowing guys involved with Trump and the people of Trump's power involved in the top level. We've already seen the bad side. That Balogun thing, to me, is enough to say that we should never ever go back to America, or they should come out with a statement and go, no fucking political. That was always a big thing about FIFA. They would never took a political side. And if politics, but we've seen it. Fuck me, 1978, fucking Argentina won it with a junta. You know what I mean? But we can't allow a government to fucking make a phone call and go, by the way, he shouldn't have been sent off. I never watched the game. Somebody told me he should. All right, we'll suspend that. And now, as Jason says earlier, who's fucking. And by the way, is all these things going out for tender? It seems that JP McManus is going to. Why is that not going out to tender to some other company? How are these things already fucking sorted? Or these deals? How are these deals already sorted? That's a bit iffy.
I think you're being naive in the sense that you're trying to stop it, and it's already started. The ship's already sailed. It's been happening in every single country. Well, not every single country. Probably England being the biggest one, where they're bending every single rule possible. They're making as much money out of it as they possibly can.
Yeah.
It's done. The ship sailed. It's just FIFA have now jumped on it and everybody's went, no, you've got teams in England who are selling the women's franchise for like 50 million just so they're making money in the club. To themselves. I think it was Man City sold it to themselves. Chelsea sold it to themselves for 50 million. So all these things are happening across different teams now. I'm sure Barca are at it. I'm sure Real Madrid are at it. They're all doing it. And it's just
Brian, Everton get fined about fucking what? Deducted points and fucking fined and all sorts of shit and Everton. And Man City's got about fucking 300 charges. It's never actually came to force.
The ship sailed it. So it's just.
The whole thing is just scandalous.
That's how I think it. As long as the money's going back to the clubs, because for too long FIFA have been making so much billions, and the clubs have been getting pennies. The clubs have been getting fuck all. Or no, the clubs, the countries have been getting fuck all. Whereas now, at least they're going to be getting more, which you can go and try and develop. I do agree, it could cause secondary problems with players going, no, hold on, man, I'm not playing, I think it's $1,000 to get. Is it $1,000 a game or something, or $1,500 a game?
They get something.
It's something like that, and I think even then we just give it to, I think majority just give it to charities and stuff like that. I think that's a sort of standard practice. But they'll know that will pose a question 100%, but what you'll get in the benefit of that is you probably, for every country, for every World Cup, you go to know it will be a water break. You'll have every sort of 20 minutes and 70 minutes. Then there'll be major sponsorships and lined up with that. So that will cover your the million that you're investing.
I watched, as you say, I watched Borussia Dortmund friendly in Japan, and it wasn't warm, and they had the same water breaks, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
That's it. And it'll cover VAR, because VAR will have a sponsorship now. So when it goes to a VAR decision, that will be sponsored by whoever it is. So it'll
do you remember that one? I think it was on ITV. It was the League Cup. Everton were playing somebody, I can't remember, and somebody went down injured, and they jumped to an advert, and they fucking come back, and they fucking hit the bar with a crow. It was like, fucking hell, man. But no, I disagree, Brian. Your uncle fucking Gianni's a prick, all right?
He's a good uncle.
I knew you. That's how you got the World Cup tickets, you boss.
See, the thing is, see, like fucking English Premiership sell its soul fucking years ago, and it's by no means the best league in the world, but it's the best marketed, and every fucking cunt in the world fucking follows their teams. It's mental, but it's just created an absolute monster, and the World Cup they're looking to monetize absolutely everything, and I don't necessarily think it's for the fans. Obviously, the ticket price is right, but that's no fucking creating billions of pounds, right? So they're ripping our folk with ticket prices in America. But everything else, the money was going to the local retailers, the local fucking transport companies, the local whatever, But you can't have that in, like, if that's in Brazil, or if that's in Argentina, or if that's in, as I say, Spain, Portugal, Morocco. You can't make that kind of money in the places, because that isn't a done thing. You're going in for a meal and it's going to be the same price as it would. Because the thing is, in Boston, Brian, you were there, when you went out for a meal in Boston, it was the same price as what it would normally be in Boston.
Aye.
Nothing else was changed. It was normal service, apart from the train to the game was a joke. But that was the Boston local rail that put that up. It wasn't FIFA. They weren't making money for that. So they're making money for advertising, making money for everything else. But so interestingly, Scott, see where did I get the 40 million then? Some son was going to put into. You said 2.3 billion. I had 40 million in my head. Where did I read that? That was nonsense.
Maybe right. Joe tell you.
Right, aye, maybe. Harper, are you still here?
By the way, Harper, he's on mute.
Is he?
I think he's dead. He's dead.
I really hope he's no.
Can you take him off mute, Scott?
Trying, mate. He says can't mute. Their mic isn't connected.
His mic's not connected.
He's a fucked off. He's
away. He might come back in.
Right. Anyway, we'll talk about Monday night. We're all going. All three is. Yep. Yes.
Yep.
You
looking forward to it?
Aye. It's opening
Monday,
day of
it's
season.
a bit of a ball ache, isn't it?
Aye, that's different. Aye.
Do you know what? I was walking in for work today, right? Going to get a train back in, and I was thinking to myself, I used to always love first game of the season, right? I would run up to the paper shop when I was a wee kid, right? And buy the Daily Record, and you come back up the road, and then you get ready, and then you get ready, you get to the bus, go to the game, and it was like a ritual every season. Saturday morning, and kids nowadays just haven't got that because it doesn't even exist. We're playing the fucking Monday night. It's pish, but I'm still fucking buzzing for going.
Well, as well, you guys know I love the German football, and German football have their first game, the Champions, which is usually Friday night, and I think that's. We'll try again with Harpo. You're back. Still on mute.
Put yourself off mute, Harper. You'll be able to hear us.
Nah, he's fucking. Right. Oh. Hello.
There we go. You're here.
No, it's good. As I say, the German football, they've got their champions play. The champions play the first game. They open the weekend. And there's the Huns playing tonight. I mean, to be honest, should have been us playing the Parkhead tonight. Huns playing Monday night, shouldn't it?
Should have been, 100%. 100%.
Was it something to do with the Commonwealth Games and they couldn't play Saturday because Calvin
Harris
Saturday.
Calvin Harris is playing. Calvin Harris playing the Saturday, Sunday, isn't it?
Aye.
Harper, can you talk?
He can fucking certainly talk.
I can talk. He's made a cunt out of his side or something.
No, I think his fucking laptop's killing him, man, isn't it?
Microsoft. Aye, but you're right, Brian. That's the reason. Fucking
That is it. I mean, it's just fucking rubbish, man. Plays it Thursday night.
I know. Aye, I know.
But
Worker
no. To be honest, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I never went to any of the two friendlies. No, it's interesting, right? I watched what was the Shelburne game was garbage, and then the Sport Lisbon game we were stinking. And they spoke to Martin O'Neill and he says, see the Milan game, I would like to think we're in a better place. See in the Milan game, I thought we were playing the ball to the forwards much quicker. And we looked like we had this thing. We were playing the game in their half a lot of the time. And I was liking that. And if that's what we've got to look forward to, don't get me wrong, I like playing pretty football and all that, but I like football. My favourite football is counter-attack football, and you can't play that with Celtic, obviously, for the reasons we all know. But Ange was obviously the best stuff, wasn't it? That we got it and we played it in their half, but we played a fucking pressure game. And I've just got a feeling that we're going to be quicker up the park. We're going to be turning defences a lot more than we've done over the last couple of years. And I'm really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to Monday. I've got to admit, it would be nice if we got this other boy in as well, the Algerian fella. That would be good, even if he starts on the bench. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having proper strikers. Harper, are you there? No.
He's not on mute, so somebody gave it his mic.
Nah. Right, Brian, move yourself.
Hear me now?
Yeah! How you doing, Margaret?
No.
Oh, he was just teasing us there.
On you go, Brian.
No, the same as you, what you're talking about in terms of the game. Looking forward to it. It feels like a long time ago. In the Hearts game was, it feels as if we've been through a whole lot since, and no idea who the manager was. Then it was Martin O'Neill. Then the whole backroom staff saga. Then they're in. Then no signing anybody. Then granted, it's only 2 players, but you look at them and go, that's quality players. But I think there's more hope as you look into this one because they're bringing in quality, and you go, right. Granted, if it takes longer to get them in, ideally would been in the 1st of June. But if they're taking longer, but you're bringing quality in, right, it's going to give Martin O'Neill and Maloney and Fozzie a chance to actually embed them in and get it going. It's a good game to play as well. You've got Dundee at home, who were a bit shaky against Clyde in the last game up there, and they had a really poor first half. And Clyde were, I think, they were leading at one point, or they should have been leading. So you'd like to think it's a game that you could go and put a few goals, and it's one for the strikers to go and get off the score sheet early doors.
Where did Dundee finish in their group, Brian?
I can't even. I think they ended up qualifying. They came back in the second half and they done well against Clyde. But the first half they were poor. They started really poor. Still got Simon Murray and that up front. It's just that you'd love to start this season where you've got, fair enough, you might not have 2 right backs or 2 left backs, but seeing Scales not playing, and you're hoping the big centre forward, and you're not sure if Engels will play now, is Engels going to be looking at, right, or is the club going to say, Martin O'Neill, actually we're not playing Engels in case he gets injured because there's a chance, there's a bid come in for this, whatever it is. Is he going to play? That's a wee bit, it's frustrating, but no, you want to get it started. It's a good game to start. And you just hope to get after a flyer. Was it last year? It was a late goal.
You've got to say, Brian, like, for the midfield, I know McCowan will have his cup of tea, but it was one of Dundee's best players. You've got McCowan, you've got Callum McGregor, and you've got The new boy. No, the new boy, but re-signed.
Chamberlain.
Liverpool.
Chamberlain.
Aye.
Oxley, Chamberlain. So you get three of them in the midfield. You'd think that'd be enough to take care of Dundee.
Are we saying Negrin's not going to play?
Aye, Negan will be next to Big Who.
Two up front, you going for it?
Well, Negan's not really up front. He's behind them, sort of thing, isn't he?
I know, but Negrin generally plays in that fucking third midfielder role, doesn't he?
Aye,
Well, maybe, aye. So you play him before McCowan.
So you're starting team, you've got Sinisalo in nets, right? Is Johnson playing?
I
I
don't
don't think
think
so, huh?
Nah.
Back.
I don't
Harper!
think so. You back, Harper?
No, I was trying to butt in for about fucking 20 minutes. I'd all sorts to say about fucking your man that resigned today as the fucking advisor at Infantino and his statements and all the rest of it. Fuck's sake, I'm going back to that. When this cunt fucking Scott's ignoring me, and this fucking Brian,
We'd never do that, my man.
Right, before we get into this, Harper, guess what you're going to say.
Oh, I can't even fucking remember now. But do you know what? You know when I did hear about that, you know the first thing I thought it made me think of the fucking European Super League. Kind of had that vibe to it with the FIFA thing. And I was delighted when UEFA came out and said, like, I can't see, if UEFA stick to their guns, they're going to boycott it, then how can it go forward? It can't go forward. And your man who quit the day, Cordiora, whatever his fucking name was Infantino's chief advisor. His statements were brilliant today. He was like the main advisor for the last 5 years. He was chief American soccer for a couple of years before that. He basically said, like, the money's already there. The billions are already there to be distributed. We don't need this to provide that money already. So that money's there, and your man's came out and fucking, like, he was in the fucking Oval Room in the White House with Infantino when he was with Trump doing all the shit. So this guy, did you not see this guy that quit today, no?
Yeah, the US guy.
His statement, I thought his fucking statement was brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Seemed to be for the fucking heart anyway. Like, I think he just showed up fucking Infantino for what it is. A fucking fanny. Like.
Brilliant.
But do you know that Infantino? He comes across as one of the cunts that he doesn't matter what he says. He's going to make a cunt of himself. But he doesn't understand that everybody thinks he's a cunt because he's got that kind of ego. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't actually realise that he's a cunt, but he is a cunt.
That was a fine
selection. That was worth waiting on, eh?
That was a fine selection of cunts there in one sentence.
Aye, yeah.
Anyway, who's starting on Monday, Harpo?
I don't know, I just hope I'm going to be there in fucking time. I made a right cunt for that, eh? Did you see that in the chat that I put it the other day?
So what time's your flight?
I didn't know, 5 to 4 to Edinburgh. I didn't know it was a fucking bank holiday. I did, but when I booked the flight, I just wasn't looking at that, eh? Because I got the season ticket late, I booked the flight late. I was like, fuck, I've no holidays left. Anyway, all my holidays are done for the year. Booked like, no? I says, fuck it, I'll just have to take a chance, get away an hour early to work, get the 5 to 4 flight to Edinburgh. My mate Mackie lives in Edinburgh, he's going to drive to Parkhead, but if I was late an hour of that, then I would be on it.
You'll be bang on, mate. You'll be bang on.
Bank holiday though, man. The fucking Ryanair, Dublin Airport, fucking delays several. We'll see you anyway. If it's delayed an hour, I'll not be getting on the flight. But hopefully.
Is it landing at 5 to 4? Or is it leaving at 5 to 4?
It's off at 5 to 4 to fly to Edinburgh. So we'll just say fucking everything runs on time. I'm off the plane at 5 o'clock. That's fine. Like even 5:30, that's fine. Mackie's driving. But he's got my season ticket as well. Just leaving as if I can just say fuck it. I'll just go late and jump on a bus to fucking Edinburgh Airport to Glasgow. Because there's buses are every 20 minutes. But I wouldn't hold him back either, like, you know what I mean?
It's a flight here at 10:30 you're running about, isn't it?
Huh?
It's a flight here at 10:30 you're running about.
Well, I'm flying back the next morning at 6:15, going straight to work. See, I work beside the airport, eh? So it's grand. Like I leave the scooter at the airport and then I'm at work 5 minutes, eh? Right beside the airport, so that doesn't matter. Like that's all right.
But getting the bus to Edinburgh Airport and the Toon's not an option because once you get to the Toon, you've still got another hour to go to get to the game.
The Buchanan Street.
Aye.
I know, I'm not fucking walking backwards. What are you on about?
Well,
To Buchanan Street, I know, at the parking.
well, fucking. The time you get a taxi, you need to phone a taxi. Maybe no turn up. Fucking blah blah.
Oh,
Phone
for
a
fuck's
fucking-
sake, Jason, eh,
Phone
Mr.
a fucking
Negative
taxi.
Man.
Phone a taxi, it's not fucking 1989. Fucking, you know what I mean?
You
Taxi
dream that
man.
horse and
Uber.
carries turn up, you'll never make it.
Uber.
Uber.
I think it should be alright, as long as I'm not too much.
I think you'll be fine. I think
You'll
fine.
be
Just
fine,
get,
mate.
Get your lift. Get your lift.
You'll
Back
be
his size
fine.
and limits.
Anyway, what's the team?
I don't know. Hope they sell fucking Negan before fucking Monday.
Off.
Just heard you say that there, like, I can't
Hey.
fucking stand you. League.
Oh, for fuck's sake! He won as a league.
I'm not caring.
Well, you don't care.
You can go and win somebody else's league this season.
Fucking.
Hey, more lads, we'll
right.
close this.
By the way, no, that's a great point. Right, we've got Brian on the show here. I want to ask Brian. Brian, what do you think about Negro? Because I hear all this pish about he does nothing, he does nothing, right? I fucking think the guy's a fucking legend. Obviously,
Oh, a legend. That's a bit
Not
of
Celtic legend, but for the amount of goals he scored this season,
It's not like Jason to exaggerate.
I reckon seeing a top class team where you could have the luxury to have a luxury player, he would be.
And a top class team, he's handing out the fucking bibs.
Unbelievable.
If you've got Big Who starts banging in goals, it'll be interesting to see how many games Negrin actually starts.
Aye, I would agree with that, right? But he
I think
was our
apart
only outlet for a goal.
No, I agree. Apart from but I think the problem that everybody had with him, apart from his goal contribution, and I say that, scoring goals is the hardest thing to do, but apart from that, he added very little value to the game, and he was another one of the guys. We're talking about Berezi earlier on. After about 2 minutes, he looks absolutely shattered and he's sweating like hell, and you're like, I'm not sure if you're going to last the game. But he seemed to have a knack of scoring goals. But obviously, I think he was one of the only ones who had a knack of scoring goals because there wasn't anybody else for the vast majority of the season, barring the last 7 games with Maeda. So it'll be interesting to see if we've got centre forwards who can score goals if he's still as sort of prominent in the box and he's still being able to make a contribution. That's it. But if he's not scoring goals, then you look at him and go, actually, you've done nothing in this game.
Do you know what it reminds me? It reminds me fucking. I was only being a wee bit flippant there. I didn't really mean all that, to be honest. But it kind of reminds me of Samaras before everybody fell in love with Samaras. You know what I mean?
Aye, if he wasn't
Samaras used to drive everybody fucking mad. And if he wasn't scoring goals, then he was fucking hopeless. And I think Negan kind of falls in that bracket for me.
Aye, that's fair. That's fair. But thanks for that, Brian, because I always wanted to know somebody else about because it's all just guys that go to the games and you're like, it's fucking hopeless. He's fucking won as a league.
Scoring goals, it's the hardest thing to do in football, scoring goals. That's why your goal scorers are worth millions, but there's nobody else doing it, so it'll be interesting to see. And I always compare them to, is he a Stan Petrov? No, is he bombing into the boat? And when you think back to what Petrov would add to the team, in terms of his work rate, in terms of his, getting his body in the road, he'd get fouls, he'd press people. He just wasn't doing that wee bit. And if he's not scoring a goal, you go, actually, what are you contributing? But he was always left on. He was always given the full 90 minutes because he was the only one who looked like scoring. I would get you to go 100%.
You compare it to Stan Petrov, he scored much more goals than Stan Petrov ever scored in a season.
Yeah,
but Stan Petrov is an all-round far better player than him.
Did you watch when... So Roy, they were talking about, obviously, the overlap, right? I watch overlap every week, and obviously the English, Bellingham kind of became prominent for England because Harry Kane kind of never done what they thought he was going to do, and nobody else really stood up for England. So Bellingham had to step up for them. And Bellingham has been, see how good Bellingham was this summer? Bellingham's been that good for years. And then I don't know if the English have just never noticed it, but Bellingham has been that good. Bellingham, that's why he's playing for fucking Real Madrid and won the European Cup, God's sake. But Roy Keane was talking about Bellingham, and Bellingham is an old. I remember I was talking to a Dutch fellow, and he was interviewing me for, and he was talking about Bellingham when he was at Dortmund, and I said Bellingham reminded me of Clarence Seedorf, and the fact that he could do everything. And see, modern football players, you don't generally get midfielders who do everything, and that's where Stan Petrov was. The box-to-box midfielder. So Stan Petrov was expected to defend, he was expected to assist, he was expected to fucking create, and he was expected to score goals. And I don't think you get that now. And we were talking earlier on, Brian, remember we were talking about I think a 4-4-2 would be good for Celtic, but the two midfielders need to be fucking on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Three in the middle of the park allows you to be something. If you've got somebody who's everything,
4-4-2.
What's that, mate?
Negrin couldn't play in a 4-4-2.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
He'd need one of the strikers.
Yeah. And basically, it'd be a false nine, wouldn't he? It would basically just be dropping off. No, I mean, the frustrating thing is last season, I think allowed us to see the faults of everybody. There wasn't a player last season that we never criticised at some point. Arne Engels, a guy right for the off that I kind of really, really liked, and I argued the point about him. We were talking about Falkirk last week, Jason. See that game? That allowed me to see close up. Scales had the ball, and Engels was standing behind his marker. He wasn't pushing the marker out of the way to get in front of him. He was standing behind him, and I'm going, that big cunt's shiting it here. You know what I mean? That's big cunt's fucking ditting the game. He should be demanding the ball. Negrin wasn't far off that as well. Negrin plays, but you've got, I think, to get the best out of Negrin, you go to play to Negrin. Negrin's not going to fucking implement the game how you want it. He's going to be played for him. But you can't deny he played more games than anybody last season. He scored more goals than anybody else last season. He was fucking hugely important, but I'd put him.
I'd put him. But I actually think he played every single game because he was a goal scorer. But now, if you've got two other goal scorers,
you don't need to.
He might not play every game. So then it'll be interesting to see what the fans' opinion will be of him, because everybody was sort of sceptical of him because they could see he wasn't contributing, but he'd score. So it was a pure split. You'd hear fans like slaughtering him when they're celebrating him in the next minute because he puts one in the top corner. I think Motherwell's a perfect example. He's going in Motherwell near the end of the season. Aye, very much like. But the Motherwell game, he hardly done it, and then he puts that one in the top corner, and you go, he's poked Celtic right back into that here. He's given us a massive chance, but then up to that point, you're like, he's fucking done nothing. He's not there, and he's killing McGregor because he stays that high up the park. He's leaving McGregor exposed all the time.
Well, that's the reason why we don't take him off, though, because he's got that in him. But he's killing you. I mean, like we all watched the World Cup final, and against Spain, you can't play with 10 men working or 9 men, including the goalie. You know what I mean? Whereas we all know how good Messi was, but Messi wasn't fucking working for the team because they were trying to get him on the ball. And against Spain, whereas in Scotland, generally, if Celtic, Jason, we spoke about this when we were at that Motherwell game. In Scotland, we should be in a position where we can have somebody who doesn't work if he's giving us the goals, and that was Negrin to a point.
Yep. And the Scottish League for Celtic, exactly. We should have a luxury player, easy, without a doubt. But we were that shape last year that we couldn't afford to.
We couldn't do it. Motherwell battered us.
Well, he was. See what Harper's saying there about him selling and all that. I think it's fucking absolutely fucking ridiculous that Celtic fans don't realise the contribution that guy made for us winning the league.
But I disagree with you. I think everybody realises the contribution. But
I don't. But they just throw away comments, get rid of them more. Everybody would rather say, everybody But the vast majority of Celtic fans say, get him to fuck, sell him tomorrow. That guy won us the fucking week, the amount of goals that he got. And like, say we get these guys in, he's a part of that. And I get that Brian says he's no doing the doggies. But fucking hell, man, what a fucking player he is in front of that goal.
But see if Celtic are playing a more attacking-minded game this season, and he's not contributing as much, but he's scoring the same amount of goals, the same ratio of goals per game, then 100% agree with you. He'll go for a fortune.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think people are so sort of skewed from last year because Celtic were so bad at times, and you're not sure actually was he good or was it just he was better? So he was the best of a bad bunch.
Interesting. It's an interesting debate considering when I done the information about the two new guys, we commented that we'd signed these boys on the up, and so's Negrin. If we be honest, see Negrin's season before he joined us was outstanding, and for us to get him for $1.5 million is quite a thing. It really is quite a thing. In fact, I'll pull his stats up anyway.
He was absolutely outstanding last season.
So do you think that this team's like how's nobody coming up from there?
I don't know. Maybe they have. Well, we're hanging out for 40 million. I mean, Harper. See like the disdain you've got for the guy.
Jason, already just said I didn't mean all that. I was being a bit flippant. Already fucking said that, fuck's sake.
But, well, obviously it wasn't listening. But the thing is, that's common. See what you were saying there? That's like running the mill for loads of Celtic fans.
Right, so sorry to interrupt, gent. For Hearing Veen 2021 season, 32 games, 7 goals, right? He went back to Nordsjælland in the Danish Superliga in his first half season, 12 games and a goal. See the following season, 31 games, 6 goals. The following season, 31 games, 12 goals. The next season, 32 games, 16 goals. He played 58 games for us. Fucking 58. Almost fucking double the games and scored 21 goals. He's definitely a player on the up. He's a player on the up, and I'd be surprised. And he's 25-year-old. He's just come out of the World Cup. I'd be amazed if we don't end up with bids for him before the end of this window. I'd be amazed, honest to fuck. Just looking at these stats alone.
Totally. And it's like...
Chelsea's a goal scorer.
Chelsea a goal scorer.
Fucking Everton need a goal scorer. Fucking hell. They fucking... Oh,
Right, man. We'll call it there, I think. Where is it?
It's Saturday now.
It's Saturday, aye. 20 minutes to go.
that's a 3-hour pod.
Harper's got a fucking bus to get tomorrow.
I'm building a bike shed out of pallets and bits of wood tomorrow.
I'll tell you what, Harper.
Fuck that.
I got a new bike.
You're paying somebody to do
I got a new bike, a pedal bike. I'm actually going to pedal for the first time in 25 years.
Fuck that.
Right, anyway. Boys, it's been great. Brian, thanks for coming on. Harper, thanks for fucking giving us off your time.
Before
we go, Celtic Ajax in 2 weeks. Come on, get into the Zionist cunts.
Well, let's go Shells, right? But anyway, Monday night, what's the score predictions?
Well, you get nothing off me.
3-0.
3-0, Brian.
5. Canter.
5. Aye. I'm going
Wrap
6.
it up, the fuck.
That's scaring me. That voice just keeps popping in and out here. It's going to give me nightmares.
Hold on.
God bless you, Marty. I think Celtic will win. There you go. Anyway, gentlemen, brilliant. Well done tonight. Thanks for coming on, Brian. Appreciate it, Harper. Great to hear from you. Good luck with your pod. I look forward to the fucking Benfica madness. But right, everybody's listening. Thank you very much. Really, really appreciated. And good luck to Celtic. And I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.
Sail,
All the Celts.
Sail.